1-week Halloween hiatus for the Jayhawks. They are back tonight in Overland Park, Kansas to take on the visiting University of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks. Welcome inside Advent Hill Sports Park, everybody, here in Overland Park, Kansas. Alongside Jack Maurice, I'm Ryan Hartman, bringing you the first of two games this weekend between the Mavericks traveling down from Omaha, Nebraska, and your Kansas Jayhawks. Partner, I want to welcome you on broadcast here. This is going to be two very, very solid teams playing each other.
You're not even going to introduce me, Ryan?
I already did, man.
You said here, Jack Maurice, and you kept talking. I was expecting you to say, here's Jack Maurice, but no, come on, Ryan. Ryan.
Two really sharp teams playing each other this weekend, man. Omaha coming in 11-1-1. Jayhawks coming in 7-2-1.
Absolutely, Ryan. It is great to be back here in beautiful Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Here today, watching the Jayhawks face off against 11-1-1 Omaha Mavericks. What a team that they have this year. Previous years, Omaha hasn't been quite as strong as this. I mean, starting off 11-1-1 is kind of ridiculous. I mean, you see some of these people, like Blake Glazer has 29 points in 12 games right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we are still here. We're ready to watch some awesome Jayhawks hockey. I'm excited. I know Ryan's excited, and we're having audio technical difficulties, which, you know, it doesn't get much better than this. So I'm just going to keep talking and let you have a good time.
So Jack, hopefully this works better now. Don't know.
Probably need to put you up a little bit more.
Maybe, I don't know. We're going to figure this out right here. Still seems a little quiet for me, at least.
Keep talking, Carp. Let's hear your beautiful voice. This is probably better.
No, for this game, though, it's going to be one of the big keys for Jayhawks, though, is finding a way. One of the big keys for the Jayhawks this game is finding a way for them to. Well, we'll figure out the audio problems right now. One of the big keys for the Jayhawks is figuring out a way to. All right, we're gonna switch. What are we gonna do? We'll do a little switch for now. And figure it out. You're good. All right, we'll switch for now. So Jack and Daniel on this problem right here. But one of the big keys for the Jayhawks tonight, though, is going to be getting Omaha off their special teams play. Omaha 86% on the power play this year. 86% on the penalty kill and 37% on the power play. Big emphasis for head coach Andy McConnell. Again, just like all previous weeks, staying out of the box. You can't let, any calls that you might not like, you can't let those get to you. You got to be able to keep your head cool and be able to stay out of the penalty box. It's going to be a depth versus depth matchup tonight for both these teams. Talking with Omaha head coach Nick Carahill before the game. They have 14 freshmen, a really young roster. This is actually Omaha's best start in program history. They're currently ranked for the first time in program history as well. Omaha ranked number 5 in Division III play. And Omaha's keys to the game, when I was talking to Coach Carahill, it's got to be finding a way to slow down KU and slow down the depth that KU brings to their team. KU, of course, last weekend, 2 weekends ago, had 2 really nice, solid wins against a weaker opponent in Nebraska-Lincoln, and it was all 4 lines getting it done for the Jayhawks, specifically Rowan Vaughn with 7 goals and 3 assists for KU. He has been a big key for the Jayhawks. Jack, we're going to see if you have you right now. Do we have you?
We'll see. I mean, I like how I'm looking right now. I don't even know if this is coming through mine or it's coming through Carp's, but, I'm a happy camper, and I'm just happy to be here. Oh,
I think we're good from what my audio is. We're going to have a little check here from off to the side behind the scenes, making sure the audio is good as the Jayhawks are now taking the ice. All right, we are good to go. Okay, folks, it sounds like we are good to go.
We got the good enough from Dan. That'll work.
Yeah, it will work. Here, we'll
bring it around town, Ryan. Come on.
Switching headsets here, folks. A little fun technical audio difficulties to start the game, Jack. But
yeah,
anyway.
What's Jayhawk hockey?
We'll talk more about these teams during the game. Let's start, though, with Omaha's starting lineup. Starting in goal for the Mavericks is a senior out of France. It's Nahul Veillon. Really, really stellar year this year for the senior, Jack.
Absolutely. A .954 save percentage, 5-1-0, a 1.33 goals against average. what are they feeding these kids in France? This is ridiculous. And even then, their backup, Eaton Mesher, too, 3-0-0 with a 3.14 and an 8.85 save percentage. Their goalies are top class here.
Yeah, Mesher will be the backup on net tonight for the Mavericks and Coach Harrell's team. For their defense, for the Mavericks defense, it is going to be Troy Hunsaker, the senior out of Bellevue, Nebraska, one of two seniors on the team along with Vayon, as well as Camden Fories, the junior out of Cottage Grove, Minnesota.
Absolutely. And for our Kansas Jayhawks starting in net tonight, we have Ben Olson. On defense, we have Zach Roberts, Blake Hearn. And for the forwards, we've got Aiden Siddons, John Feeney, centered by Brett Siddons.
And to finish off the starting lineup for Omaha, it is, no, you're good, man. You're good. To finish off the Omaha starting lineup at left wing, it's going to be Austin Tessier, the sophomore out of Alberta for these Mavericks. He's got 6 goals on the year. Starting at right wing for the Mavericks, going to be Chase Mann. He also has 5 goals on the year, 2 of them coming from the power play. And starting center mid for the Mavericks is Blake Glazer, the freshman out of Kearney, Nebraska. And these freshmen, Jack, are incredible for the Mavericks. Blake Glazer, the freshman for the Mavericks, leads the team, or excuse me, is tied for the team lead in goals with 14, with yet another freshman, Ryan Hedquist, leads the team, or excuse me, tied with Ryan Hedquist for shorthanded goals on the year and leads the team in assists on the year with 15.
Also leads in points, too. Like I was saying, 29 points as we go ahead and listen to this.
As we welcome you back inside Advent Health Sports Park. Jack, let's dive into a little bit more into this Omaha team. 11-1-1. Their last game was just this past Saturday against Maryville, a 5-2 W the Mavericks took in that game. And this is a team right now that is on a roll, Jack.
Oh, absolutely. And Maryville is no slouch either. They're always going to be good. Look at Blake Glazer, 29 points, 12 games, 2.42 points a game. I think it's pretty apparent that we're going to hear from him at some point tonight.
Yeah, Jack, I think that is almost inevitable for tonight. Whether he scores or not remains to be seen, but we'll definitely be calling his name tonight. Omaha's won their last 3 games, coming in on a 3-game winning streak. And, Jack, for the Jayhawks, what are the keys for them tonight?
Power play is always going to be the big thing. Jayhawks have been a bit slow to the power play for their games this year. They started off, not capitalizing on those opportunities. Later periods, they started to do a better job of making those goals and converting on those, but if they want to be able to take a lead like this and stick with it in a team like Omaha, you're going to have to get it going pretty quickly and take advantage of those opportunities when they arise.
Well, he's at another Matcha Silver West game for the Jayhawks to Omaha Mavericks first of the year as puck drop in Overland Park starts right now. Jayhawks win opening faceoff, take it back to their defensive zone as they try to break out. It is the second line tonight getting to start for the Jayhawks. It was Huber that won the face-off for them. The top D line, though, getting to start for KU as we have a whistle, and this play will be blown dead, and face-off is going to be sent back to the Omaha zone. Net came off its bearings. The net, that is Vayon.
It's already been, 16 seconds here, but you can already tell how the Jayhawks were going in. As I couldn't really get a grasp on who it was, but it looks like one of the Omaha players popped a tire as he was coming around. The Kansas player wasn't really looking for the puck. He was looking to get the body on the glass there. So I'm wondering if they're going to be working on being a little more physical to start this game off.
Talking to Coach Harehill before the game, one thing they want to really emphasize, Omaha, there's a shot there by Tessier, and it goes up and above the crossbar. At the point now, playing it is Hunsicker. Hunsicker loses it. Here comes the Jayhawks the other way. This is Rowan Vaughn. Vaughn works round one. Vaughn loses control of it, goes through the crease of Aon as he kicks it to the right of him. But no, one thing Coach Harehill was talking about before the game, Jack, was defensive awareness for the Mavericks. Jayhawks love to be sneaky on offense. We'll see how well Omaha can keep their heads up on defense. Here's a puck in front of the net of Olsen and saved by him. Stoppage, not almost a minute to go, or almost through a minute, I should say, in the first period.
Rowan Vaughn just picking the pocket there at the blue line, coming up, being aware of the man in front of him, and the defenseman coming back to help him out. Great opportunity by him to try and sneak one past, but unfortunately not quite enough.
Face off to the right of the net of Olsen, won by Omaha. As it's played at the circle now, coming away with that one is Wagner. Wagner around the boards, and it goes back in Omaha's defensive zone. They're going to go grab that puck. Retreating for that is Farnsworth. Zach Farnsworth shakes one as he'll try to work this puck up. Played now for Wagner. Wagner around 1-2. Big hit there put on by him. Here's a headman pass for Hedquist. Hedquist shot on. Saved by Olsen. Able to keep that one in there nicely. That is Farnsworth. Farnsworth will cycle it around the boards looking for Wyatt Wagner. Wagner leaves it for Beth. Beth tries to get a center and pass. Jayhawks intercept as they knocked it into neutral ice. And Omaha dumps it right back in. Behind the net, that's Johnson. Johnson and Nessa. Second line pairing out for the Jayhawks on defense. Aiden Siddons now for the Jayhawks. He tries to get that one to neutral ice. It's a whistle. And
couldn't quite
don't see what the call is. I don't think it's a penalty call. I think might have been played with a high stick. No, it is.
Yeah,
it is going to be a penalty.
Yeah, a bit late on that call there. Couldn't quite tell what they were trying to do. Jayhawks already playing like they have something to prove here. I mean, this is a lot more heart that I've seen coming out of the Jayhawks, coming out the gates, than I have in previous games. It really seems like that this is a game that they're pretty serious about trying to take a chokehold early on now.
Yeah, they know they got a tough challenge in front of them, Jack, and that challenge is only going to get steeper right here. It's going to be a 2-minute roughing minor penalty called against the captain for the Jayhawks team, Brett Siddons. This is a Omaha power play that is 37% on the season, Jack. Yeah, I see your mouth is wide open there. That's just an insane number. This will be a tough test this weekend for the Jayhawks, trying to stay out of the penalty box and keep Omaha's power play off the ice. Face off to the right, won by Omaha. This is Dirk Schneider with it. Dirk Schneider cross ice. Now playing it there. Shot on there. Gets deflected in front of the net. Rebound opportunity goes off the post there from Hedquist. Hedquist along the near boards. Now left for Glazer. Glazer to centerman for this team, a freshman. They're tied for the lead goals with Hedquist. Both those have been on the first power play unit. Keeping it in there is Dirk Schneider. Dirk Schneider loses control of it as the Mavericks want to touch up here on the power play. And 2-minute minor for roughing to the captain for the Jayhawks, Brett Siddons. Glazer circles around as he'll leave it. Playing a little hot potato there with Dirk Schneider. It's Glazer now from the dot. Glazer's shot goes wide of the net. Trying to keep it in there is Dirk Schneider. He can't, as a minute 5 remaining on the power play opportunity for the Mavericks. Brett Siddons with a minor for roughing. Entering the zone cleanly. That is Tessier with it. Tessier will protect that puck with his right hand. Waits at the half wall now. Tessier dumps it. Back now to Dirk Schneider. Dirk Schneider from the point. Shot on. Saved by Olsen. Rebound opportunity. What a tip out there from the stick of Matthew Lang for the Jayhawks. Near corner now. Jayhawks trying to get this puck out and into neutral ice as it's battled for along the wall. Losing a stick there was Matthew Lang. He wants a penalty call. Nothing going to be given as Malcolm Johnson rests with it now. He'll wait as long as he can to shoot this puck way down to ice as it's gloved down by Hunsicker. Mavericks have numbers here. Hunsicker around 1. Poked away by Olsen as he'll cover that puck up with 13 seconds to go on the Maverick power play. As we finally get to take a breather, Jack.
Absolutely incredible penalty kill by the Jayhawks. What I've noticed so far this season is that they've been incredibly strong on the penalty kill here. I am more than happy with that kind of performance from them starting out. Not to be a Glazer for Glazer here, but oh man, can that kid skate. the way that he was gliding along the blue line, and it was almost like he was playing forward and defense, he is truly an incredible player.
Tipped in front of the net and goes wide, and then Ben Olsen's stick goes way up into the netting. We're going to have a penalty here. I don't know whose stick that was. I don't see anybody.
Don't know how you
right
can't call that when you see the stick go flying in the air, but.
Yeah, this is going to go against the Mavericks here. Didn't hear the call, but it's going to be a minor assessed to Camden Fories for Omaha.
Hey, and if you're the Jayhawks, this is exactly where you want to be here. You're going to have some 4-on-4 hockey for 4 seconds here, try and create a little bit of space, then you're going to get your captain right back out there, and he's going to be one of the most dangerous people you could have on the ice.
And one thing the Jayhawks emphasize on their power play is the triangle. They're going to put 2 guys beneath the net, you would assume, of Vayon, and have 1 guy up top at the crease, something that Coach Harehill has emphasized this week for the Mavericks. Shot on there, goes wide of the net. Shot put on by Vaughn. Behind the net now, this puck lies as Omaha is able to circle around the boards and get it out. Under 16 minutes to play here at Overland Park. 5 shots on goal for Omaha. Only 1 so far for the Hawks. Penalty has expired to Brett Siddons. It'll be power play for the Jayhawks for the next minute and a half. Stick lift there by Omaha. Jayhawks can't enter just yet as they were delayed offsides. From the point now, skating in is Vaughn. Vaughn up top. Vaughn over to a teammate. Couldn't keep it in there. That looked to be Huber. It's Roberts now. Roberts sends it back down. Over to Vaughn now. Rowan Vaughn along the right wing boards. He tries to get something started on the power play for the Jayhawks. He'll dump it in behind the net. Vayon. Around it goes now. It finds Bullard. Bullard up to the point to Roberts. Roberts over to Vaughn. Vaughn fakes a shot. Instead goes down low to Huber. Huber in front of the net now. This is Vaughn with the backhand. And it goes up and in the netting, out of play.
Tough break for the Jayhawks there. It really looked like coming out of the box, so they were going to go in, have some great opportunities, but it looked like the Jayhawks were a little bit out of sync there of kind of, what was going on, how they were going to cycle through these shots. Some puck skipping across the blue line there, that's going to be something that Huber wants back, but being able to kind of have this opportunity to go into face-off and try and regroup here.
Face-off one for the Jayhawks by Feeney. That's Brett Siddons. Now up to Nessa. Nessa to Feeney. Feeney from the dots. Centering into high slot for Lang off his stick. Backhanding it, trying to get it in deep as Siddons. He does on the forehand. It's Callaghan. Callaghan out to Brett. Brett up to Feeney now. Nessa, down to Callaghan. Up to Brett Siddons. Siddons shot off the crossbar and it doesn't go in. That puck just an inch from being a power play goal for the Jayhawks. Siddons high slot. Up again off the crossbar, this time by Matthew Lang. How are these pucks not going in? Brett Siddons now in the near corner with it. 7 seconds to go on the power play for KU. 2 great scoring opportunities for the Jayhawks. Puck in the low slot. Aiden Siddons tries to get it in, he can't. As the Mavericks will dump it down the length of the ice. Icing waved off here. Olsen out to play it in front of his net as he'll shoot it up into the neutral zone. Omaha, though, sends it back down the other way. 14 minutes to go now in the first. Rowan Vaughn, the forward, back deep to play that puck. Brett Siddons now headman's up to Feeney. Feeney loses an edge as it's an opportunity for the Mavericks. This is Kraut. Kraut shot on, saved by Olsen. Rebound opportunity on the backhand. Shot doesn't get through, blocked by a Jayhawk defenseman. Shot up high now, deflected in front of the net of Olsen. He'll try to poke it out of harm's way. Another rebound opportunity for the Mavericks. Really physical play in front of the net right now, Ben Olsen. Here's Dirk Schneider. Dirk Schneider's shot. Not enough mustard on that one as Jayhawks able to clean that one up and send it down the length of the ice for an icing. And, Jack, I know you want to go back to those 2 power play opportunity shots for the Jayhawks from Brett Siddons and Matthew Lang.
Oh, we are absolutely going to be looking at that footage once more. Those were ridiculous shots. That was the most beautiful Jayhawks power play that I have seen in such a long time. Oh, man, that was gorgeous action there. Oh, man, I'm jittery now, Ryan. This has been an amazing game so far.
Face-off won by the Jayhawks initially. Now battled for along the boards. Brett Siddons, the captain in there for the Jayhawks, along with Braden Kraut. Far side now, it's Feeney. Tries to clear it out. He can't. Dirk Schneider picks it up. Dirk Schneider battles as he'll lose that one. It's Rowan Vaughn trying to exit. He can't. As dumping it deep in there and going for the change is Omaha. Puck played in, kept in as Luke Nessa picks it up behind his net. Nessa to Breyer. First time we've seen Travis Breyer, his name called tonight. Far corner now, going to pick up that puck is Breyer again, battling for with Hadfield. Breyer gets it to the near half wall now. Picked up by Fitch. Fitch will send it around as the Jayhawks still can't get it out of their defensive zone. Aiden Siddons now goes for a headman up to Rowan Vaughn, but gloved down by Omaha as they try to send it the other way. Jayhawks once again try to saucer it down the length. They do. It's Nick Woolington off his skate and right to the skate, or the stick, excuse me, of Logan Hadfield. He sends it behind the net of Olsen. Near circle now. Headed up to Nick Woolington, and here comes Woolington, the sophomore. Woolington goes through the legs there of Vayon. Tried to center it for a fellow teammate. Couldn't now, as this puck is played in neutral ice. Puck sent down and in the near half hole now. Played at the circle by Omaha, intercepted there by Matthew Lang. Lang enters cleanly. He was pushed there. Jayhawks looking for a call. They're not going to get one. Puck along the near half hole now. Lang tries to center it for Woolington. Woolington, though, couldn't get a stick on it as Omaha picks up the change. Hunsaker trying to get it out. He can't. Breyer instead will go off the skate of Shea as Omaha is able to pick that one up. That is Epperson skating down the right wing side. He'll send it down the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Breyer now to Bullard. George Bullard along the boards will find nobody but a Maverick. Neutralized. Bullard. Delayed offsides against the Jayhawks. They have to touch up as now they enter. Omaha, though, gets it out first. It's going to be an offsides called here against the Mavericks. And even 11 minutes go in this first period.
What a game so far. This is exactly what you want to see as a fan of the game. Incredible, incredible scenes from the top line. The Siddons twins have been on fire. Rowan Vaughn, again, he's doing what he does best. He glides through the ice. He's making dangles in between players. They're playing exactly how the Jayhawks should be playing.
Talking to head coach Andy McConnell before the game for KU. They had a good practice last night, focusing as there's a shot there, gloved down by Vayon. Rebound opportunity for the Jayhawks. They couldn't get to it. Low slot now. Lang goes above the crossbar and off the glass. Behind the net now at the point. This is Hearn. Hearn, kick pad save by Vayon, and it goes into the near corner. Picked up now. Ringing around, that's Bullard. Bullard tries to find Bowerly along the half wall. Instead, finds its way to Hunsaker's stick as Omaha will dump that into neutral ice. I was talking to head coach Andy McConnell before the game. Jayhawks had a really great practice last night. Worked on a lot of down-low play in the offensive zone, using the defense to get some shots through as well, trying not to get them blocked. And getting shots on net has been an emphasis for the Jayhawks, and so far it's been paying off tonight. I should say not on the scoreboard, but at least with the opportunities that they've had. Under halfway now to go in the first period. Shots on goal even, 7 apiece for both the Mavericks and the Jayhawks. Puck in neutral ice. Hunsaker battling with Callaghan. Callaghan will win it and dump it to Vaughn. Vaughn gets stripped up, no call there as it's along the near wall now. That's Malcolm Johnson with it. Battling with Carson Fitch. Able to come away with it is the Jayhawks momentarily. Callaghan did, as gloving that dump in down there was Ben Olsen. Dumping it in was Hedquist.
The one thing that I was thinking in my head of just, what the Jayhawks really needed to do was kind of slow down the game. Except that it's extremely difficult when the Mavericks are moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Where you're really going to see a lot of the nitty-gritty take place is later on in the game, in the second and third period, when all of the skating just kind of catches up to them. It's going to be a difficult game, but it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Big hit there put on as a Maverick tried to drag down the Jayhawk there. That was Danny Callaghan standing strong. Big hit there put on by KU. Omaha looking for a call. They're not going to get one. Near half wall now. Dirk Schneider will ring it around, trying to find the stick of Mitchell. He can't connect. Instead, we'll find a Maverick. Here we go. Now this is John Feeney with it. Feeney back to Huber. Rebound opportunity for Vaughn. Nice save there by Vayon. Puck behind the net now. Vayon, penalty here, going to be delayed against Omaha as Jayhawks will have their second power play opportunity of the night as there's some physicality in front of the net of Neul Vayon.
Looks like it was a cross-check in the crease there. Couldn't quite tell who got hit with it, but one of the Jayhawks went down quick. What a game. The little Colorado pass back fortunately didn't quite work there, but oh man, the Jayhawks offense is running with swagger. I have not seen this kind of confidence, it just seems fun for the offense tonight. It's been an amazing game.
Jayhawks going on the power play as a minor cross-checking assessed to Noah Dirkschneider, the freshman defender out of Sioux City, Iowa for Omaha. So the Jayhawks can cash in on their second power play opportunity tonight. Had a couple scoring chances on that first one that went off the crossbar. Play down to Lang. Lang behind the goal line now. Up top to Nessa. Nessa down to the dot for Siddons. Siddons centering pass, trying to find a stick of Matthew Lang. They can't connect. As coming out to play that one now is Luke Nessa. Nessa off the skate of Brett Siddons. Opportunity for Omaha if they choose to hurry. Chase Mann will dump it behind the net of Olsen. Picking that up is Luke Nessa. Aiden Siddons with one hand, trying to get that out of harm's way from the Maverick down there. Nice penalty kill for Omaha so far. Wasted 50 seconds, a minute 10 to go now on the power play. Aiden Siddons tries to dangle around one, can't. Brett Siddons picks up the change, passes it back down to Feeney. Sean Feeney behind the net, battling with Beth. Beth able to come away with it momentarily. Lang picks it up, laying up to Roberts. Roberts on the point will wrap it around to Aiden Siddons. Aiden getting pressured by a Maverick and played off the puck. Nice job there by Zach Farnsworth. Behind the net now. This puck goes. Omaha able to clear it down the length of the ice as there's only 30 seconds to go in the power play now for KU. Olsen out of his net to play. It leaves it for Roberts. 9 shots on goal for the Jayhawks, 7 on goal for Omaha. Going around one is Rowan Vaughn, streaking down the right wing side. Trying to pick it up there. Was a Jayhawk, couldn't, got pushed down as Omaha looks to exit the zone. They do. 9 seconds to go on the power play now, and that'll effectively all but do it for KU as they dump this one in behind the net. Vayon tried to play it, but couldn't get a stick on it. Huber now, half wall. Shot on there by Roberts, goes wide of the net. Behind the net now, this puck is battled for, and it'll get wrapped around along the boards and be sent down length of the ice for not an icing. Puck did not go far enough. Our linesman waved that one off. Roberts now tries to headman it up to Huber. Off the skate, though, of Shea. Here they are now. Omaha, shot on, they score!
Not quite a lot you could do there. Just a little misplay by Zach Roberts, giving them an odd man rush, and he was already kind of out of position there. Kind of made it difficult for them to get back into position, try and block it up there. But if I'm the Jayhawks, I'm not fazed by this. All of the offensive opportunities that they've had, I don't think it's going to be a 1-goal lead for very long.
Braden Kraut, the freshman out of Hastings, Minnesota, notches his 6th goal of this season, giving Omaha an early 1-0 lead in the first period. See how the Jayhawks bounce back here, facing a little bit of pressure now. Omaha playing a very physical game. Both teams trying to come out and set their tempo for this game. Talking to both coaches before the game, as well, right now the tempo has been physicality, and that might hurt the Jayhawks here, as it looks like they're going to be sent to the box.
It's been a bit of a kind of odd game for penalties here. For one, the 2 penalties that have been called on Omaha have been a little bit blatant. I think the one that was called on the Jayhawks earlier was a bit soft, but not too crazy here. It really seemed like the referees were more willing to kind of let them play it out. You saw a lot of what could have been considered hooking or tripping or cross-checking could have been missed out there, but looks like that they're going to try and calm the game down a little bit more. It seems like they've gotten a little too physical with each other.
Yeah, so I'm matching minor penalties here for roughing against both these teams. It'll be 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes. They haven't put the penalties up on the board yet. We'll get you those numbers as soon as we see them. This faceoff, though, will come out to the right of the net of Ben Olsen. We're just played 16 minutes in this game. Penalty's still not up on the board as our linesman drops the puck without realizing that penalty's still not up on the board yet.
It's a bit of a miscommunication.
Jack, what are your takeaways through these first 14 minutes that we played so far?
Jayhawks offense is electric tonight. If I'm the offense, I don't let that goal phase me. Again, offense needs to make sure that they keep that swagger that they've been playing with all night. They're playing confident. They're playing pushy. They're doing what they need to be doing. Defense needs to tighten up a little bit more, but otherwise, those shots are going to go in eventually.
At the point now, Brett Siddons trying to pick up the puck in neutral ice. Lots of open ice for both these teams to play with. Shot there off the skate of a Maverick, picked up instead by Farnsworth. Farnsworth will leave it now for Hedquist. Hedquist behind the net, finds Farnsworth. Farnsworth now headman up to Hedquist, trying to work around Vaughn. Instead, Hedquist will leave it for a teammate as we're going to have a penalty assessed here. Delayed going against KU as they touch up. It'll be 4-on-3 hockey against the Jayhawks.
Looks like it was a hooking call there. Saw one of the Omaha players lost their stick, held their hands out expecting a call. Referee gave it to him.
It's going to be going against Rowan Vaughn. This penalty here, it's going to be a minor against him. Setting up 4-on-3 power play for Omaha for the next minute 18. A lot of open ice for these Mavericks to work with. A dangerous power play Omaha has.
It's a great penalty kill we have out here right now, though. Matthew Lang, Zach Roberts, and Blake Hearn, those are the three guys that I want out there.
Up top at the point, this is Fories. Fories now to Hunsaker. Hunsaker down low. Shot on there, goes off the side of the net and behind of Olsen. Jayhawks able to get it out in the neutral ice.
Minute left on the matching power plays here. Soon we'll have 5-on-4 hockey.
Omaha tries to enter the zone quickly. Fories working with Chase Mann. Chase Mann now will go behind the net. Mann looking to shoot. Instead, we'll try to find Hunsaker. Goes between his legs. That's 4.5 minutes now to go in this first period. Nick Harahill emphasizing some quickness for his team right now, as you can see in front of the bench. Hunsaker tries to get a shot off the stick of Roberts. Hunsaker still with it, though, as an Omaha Maverick is down, still on the ice. This one does not look pretty. I saw some net front physicality happening there. Don't know who that is, but we have not seen him move since he went down on the ice.
As medical is coming out here to come take a look. Looks like he hit the ice pretty hard there on a physical battle in front of the net.
As Coach Nick Harahill runs out to check on his player as well as the KU trainer as well. Still no movement from this Omaha player. Again, 4:14 to go in this first period of play. 10 shots on goal for the Jayhawks, 8 for Omaha. Omaha currently on a 4-on-3 power play for the next 31 seconds. As this rink has gone dead silent as a player for Omaha has got onto his knees. That's going to be Charles Mann, the sophomore first-line right winger out of Sioux City, Iowa. Hopefully it was that he just got the wind knocked out of him as he's going to be very much helped off the ice as Omaha's fans express anger over a no call there. But, yeah, rink has gone very quiet. Got a good crowd tonight here.
Yeah, absolutely, great crowd. But that's
they have gone. This is the quietest we've heard them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bit rough. It looks like they're taking the bag and the chair with them back to the back there. Hopefully he's a-okay.
Yeah, crowd more focused on the KU side where they're at compared to where the Omaha side is. But Omaha, of course, has brought some fans tonight. Of course, about a 3-hour drive down from Omaha along I-29. Jack, I want to ask you, what have you liked, though, from Omaha tonight? Of course, the 1-0 lead, they've been putting a lot of pressure on KU.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the one thing that I really like about Omaha that, again, small thing. Nahul Veyan, their goalie, is an incredible leader in the back there. He's almost like a third defenseman. The way that he's been, calling out to his guys, pointing out the odd man kind of on his left-hand side there, I mean, he's definitely who you want as a goaltender. He's making those plays. He's directing his defensemen. He is a general back there. And he's been standing strong all night. There's been a lot of great shots by the Jayhawks, and having somebody like him back in net is going to be very important.
So our ref right now, one of our referees is talking to the scores table. Don't know if this means we're going to have a penalty assessed against the Jayhawk. I right now do not know, as we have the Jayhawks 3 skaters and Ben Olsen right now conversing, in front of the Jayhawks own net.
Tough place to be in as a referee.
Trying to see who that is for the Jayhawks. Looks to be Blake Hearn. Looks to be Blake Hearn leaving the ice for the Jayhawks. As you can only imagine, that means it's an early shower for him tonight. Either that or it's a 5-minute major.
Could be 5, could be 10, could be done for tonight.
We'll find out as this period ends. Yeah, scary scene here in Overland Park as Chase Mann went down for a solid 2 or 3 minutes without moving.
Yeah, it looks like there's
back
some
up.
Residue on the ice there as they're scraping that off. Definitely a scary place to be in as a player.
Yeah, our ice keeper just scraping. Looks to be some blood off the ice.
Yeah.
From Chase Mann, but luckily he was at least skating off, not on his own power, but the good thing is that he was able to at least stand up and
absolutely
look like he was alert at some sort of level.
Tough loss to have. He's been incredible tonight. Looks like here as both captains are skating back that they may have come to a resolution here on what's going on.
Yeah, both captains giving their respective coaches explanations. Brett Siddons for the Jayhawks and Camden Fories for the Mavericks, talking to Nick Harahill. Fories is going to go back to our referees, or he's actually going to go back, to James Shea in the penalty box for the Mavericks. Just talk to him about probably what the plan is once he gets out of the box, if he's going to be staying on the ice or leaving. As it's going to be 31 seconds of 4-on-3 time in this game.
Yeah.
Favoring Omaha.
On another note this night, too, over on the Jayhawks bench, we see number 30, Chris Stone, is the backup for tonight. We love you, Chris. Chris is a big friend of the broadcast. He's been on camera a couple of times, and he's serving as backup goaltender tonight. Good to see him over there behind the Jayhawks bench.
Yeah, it was going to be a Kai Vetter start tonight for the Jayhawks, Jack. It was going to be Ben Olsen backing him up. Kai not feeling too good this weekend, so it'll be Ben in net tonight and Ben Olsen in net tomorrow as well. Chris Stone backing him up yet again.
What an outstanding goalie and an even better man that is. Love us some Chris Stone. Looks like the referees are still discussing over near center ice with some of the Jayhawks in the penalty box. Looks like we have 3 players in there as of right now.
Yeah, we'll have to get this all sorted out. Yeah, Ben Olsen on the year. Been solid for the Jayhawks, 4-2-0 with a 3.17 goals against average and a 921 save percentage. Been clutch this year for the Hawks in a few of their wins.
It's been great to see just kind of Ben and Kai, how they've developed over the last 2 years here. After Mitch Miles left, there's definitely some big shoes to fill in here, and Ben and Kai have been awesome to watch over the past year or so.
We're still in a lull here as our referees are talking to a scorekeeper. That's the one negative thing about playing in a rink like this, and most rinks in ACHA, is that our refs are typically not mic'd up. So, forced to right now, we are left in the dark, folks. There's currently 3 Jayhawks on the in the penalty box. 2 of them, of course, are up on the board right now with penalties. This is 4-on-3 with Omaha on the power play. So we don't know who that third one is in there or why he is in there. You could maybe assume just a 5-minute major's been assessed to Hearn, and maybe he's just going off the ice because there's less than 5 minutes left, or maybe it is the game misconduct against Blake Hearn. We'll try to find out during intermission as we're ready to drop the puck. And now to the right of Ben Olsen. Face-off 1 by Omaha. Hunsaker now up top. Will work down low to the circle. Feeds it back up. Shot on goal. They score! Carson Fitch on the power play for Omaha. Doubles the Mavericks lead. His second power play goal of the season. Third goal of the season. Puts the Mavericks up 2-0.
That's got to feel good for that team, though. After seeing one of your fellow players go out like that, to get one back for him's got to mean the world for that team. The mood of the Jayhawks here is definitely a lot more somber. The bench has slunked away as the players match back up for the face-off here. We're still 4-on-3 hockey.
As Jayhawks now will be 4-on-4 hockey for the next 21 seconds until Omaha gets yet again another power play. This one will be a 5-on-4.
Bit of confusion here between the players. This has definitely been the last 10 minutes of confusion and disagreements here as the refs go back to center ice to have a chat.
Yeah, talking to a scoreboard operator, telling which penalty to take off the board. I think this arena is still in shock about what happened earlier to Chase Mann.
Absolutely. I mean, that was definitely a scary sight as your teammate here, and just even being on the opposing team, I couldn't imagine how it feels on the ice right now.
So we're still going to remain 4-on-3 here. Thought a man would come off the box for the Jayhawks. Beg your pardon for that. So it is still 4-on-3 for Omaha for the next 12 seconds. As it was matching minors. Beg your pardon. It was matching minors. So 5 seconds. We will get 5-on-4 hockey for both these teams. Or it will remain 5-on-3 for both these teams. A little confused now what's going on. Either way, it's a 5-on-3 power play for Omaha. We'll worry about that all later. This is Hunsaker down low. As the man finally comes out of the box for deciding if he should come out of the box for the Jayhawks. As he finally does come out, it was a 5-on-3. Okay, I was right. It should have been 5-on-4 for the Jayhawks, and not coming out of the box there for KU for about 15 seconds, so that Omaha had themselves a free 5-on-3. Near side now. Hunsaker plays it down to this Nessa, who intercepts it. Nessa back to Hunsaker along the wall. Hunsaker now at the dot. Hunsaker trying to find a teammate. He can't, as Brett Siddons will dump it down the length of the ice. So it was Blake Kern who went back, and yes, it is a major against Blake Kern. Matthew Lang in the box serving it for the Jayhawks. He'll be serving it for the rest of this period and into the early minutes, or early seconds, I should say, of the second period. Breyer backhands it out into the neutral zone. Omaha has to touch up. They do. Far point now. Little spinorama there by Wagner. Wagner shot on, goes to the side of the net of Olsen and along the walls. It's played down low. This is Tessier with it. Tessier along the half wall now. Up into high slot. Shot off a stick and up into the net above Ben Olsen.
Understandable, despite what happened here. It looks like the Jayhawks kind of lost a lot of the energy and the pizzazz that they had in that most of the first period there. Bit rough to watch that, and I'm sure it has totally ruined the mood of that entire bench there. But you got to find a way to come back, get through the rest of this period. Don't concede.
High slot shot off the post. Rebound opportunity. Diving there is Blake Glazer. He cannot get the team lead in goals for the Mavericks. It's him and Ryan Hedquist battling for that team lead. Glazer looking for his 15th goal of the year. Couldn't find it there. Under 2 minutes now to go into first act of play. Rowan Vaughn tries to pick up the puck. Instead, played nicely by Omaha as it's Wyatt Wagner. We've been calling his name a lot tonight, the freshman out of Bellevue, Nebraska. He skates along the right wing boards. Center in pass. Up high, shot. Save by Olsen. Nice opportunity there for Austin Tessier, the sophomore out of Alberta. But Ben Olsen standing strong in front of his crease.
And you know what? Giving up 2 against Ben Olsen there, I wouldn't count either of those goals against him. That first one was a pretty rough odd man rush. In the second one, he was thoroughly screened here. I think that Ben still had an incredible game. He stood tall what he's had to, but it's going to be on to the offense now to try and even up the score.
And that first goal, Braden Crowd able to get around a couple Jayhawk defensemen. It was a 2-on-0 in front of the net, actually, of Ben Olsen, and not much young man can do there as a referee's converge to talk about something. Looks like nothing will come of it. So face-off will be to the right of the net of Olsen. Playing a little tic-tac-toe are the Mavericks up high now. It's Hunsaker. We'll leave it for Dirk Schneider. Hunsaker loses control of it along the half wall. Up back again to Dirk Schneider. Excuse me, that was Mitchell, beg your pardon. Not Dirk Schneider, that's Mitchell. Down below the net now. Centering pass intercepted there by John Feeney as he tries to get that one out of the zone. He does. And it's going to be a delayed penalty here against Omaha. Big hit put on by a Maverick. It'll be interference against, speak of the devil, Nate Mitchell.
What are we doing here? That was just all elbow there. Come on, man. Looks like as he was coming up there, Malcolm Johnson starts gliding up, went for the hit, but was getting a bit lazy with it. All elbow.
So there's 2:03 to go in the major. Assessed to, again, I want to say it's Blake Hearn. Matthew Lang, though, serving it in the box. So it's 2-minute minor against Nate Mitchell for interference. So that means we'll be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes to play. And it'll be a 3-second, once we get into the second period, a 3-second power play, though, for Omaha. Nothing much there. Up at the point now is Rowan Vaughn. He'll take it out into neutral ice. Under a minute to go now in the first period. Behind the net to play it is Farnsworth. Farnsworth around to Dirk Schneider. Dirk Schneider back to Farnsworth. In front of the net now. Shot on! They score! Rowan Vaughn adds to his team lead. 20th goal of the season for KU as Jayhawks cut in to this Maverick lead.
Rowan Vaughn waits, shoots. What a great patient play for Rowan Vaughn. That's exactly what you want coming out of that slump. And to go into intermission here, being only down 1 goal, that's exactly what you want. And again, from Rowan Vaughn to having your star players do what they do best, it's exactly what you want.
Tough break there for Neul Veon, the netminder for Omaha, as Rowan Vaughn was left all alone. It was an ugly defensive possession there by Omaha, and Rowan Vaughn able to take advantage of it. Went on the forehand in front of the net of Veon and was able to beat him blocker side. Kraut now with it, 30 seconds to go on the power play. Jayhawks looking to maybe tie this one up. Cross-ice pass centered for Huber. Couldn't get on the stick. Vaughn again. Weird save there by Veon, but it worked. As it's behind the net now, 18 seconds to go in this period. Nessa calls for it up top at the point. He gets it. Nessa shot on. Blocker to side. Rowan Vaughn had a rebound opportunity. That went off his stick. Played at the walls now by Hunsaker, as Omaha will be happy to have this first period clock wind down. 2 seconds, 1 second, it well. Strong period for the Mavericks, but the Jayhawks able to scrape one back in the final minute to play, courtesy of, guess who? Rowan Vaughn.
With how the Jayhawks kind of started to end out the period there after the injury to Chase Mann, it really seemed like the Jayhawks were just going to lie down and just give it up. But no, Rowan Vaughn doing it all by himself with the weight and score. That's exactly how you want to end the period. They were playing a lot more kind of like the first half Jayhawks, where they were going in, they had the swagger, going and making the plays, getting that extra shot in. Beautiful, beautiful way to end it for the Jayhawks. I believe that coming into the second period, giving both teams some time to process, get updates on everything, they're going to come into this and get back to right where they were and be in the right headspace to continue this game.
So Omaha opened up the game with 2 goals of their own. Braden Kraut notching his 6th goal of the season. And then Carson Fitch added a power play goal later for Omaha, his 3rd goal of the season, 2nd to come on the power play. But with just about a minute to play in the first period, it is the Jayhawks' finest, Rowan Vaughn, getting his 20th goal of the season, 26th point, as the Jayhawks have sliced this lead in half, heading into the first intermission, down 2-1 against the Mavericks. 13 shots on goal apiece for both these teams. We'll be entering the second period 4-on-4 as both these teams trying to make their mark in some Matcha Silver West play. Well, we'll take a pause for the first intermission break. Make sure to keep it here on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. Second intermission coming shortly. Back inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk in Overland Park, Kansas. Jayhawks entering the second period, down 2-1 to the Mavericks, but with some momentum on their side, courtesy of a Rowan Vaughn 4-on-4 goal, his 20th of the season, to cut the deficit in half for KU, 2-1. Alongside Jack Murray, I'm Ryan Cartman, bringing you the first of 2 games in Matcha Silver West play between the Omaha Mavericks and the Kansas Jayhawks. The Mavericks, their first Silver West play of the year, their first 13 games of the season outside of the Silver West. They've been traveling to places like Florida, places like Notre Dame, but now they finally have their shortest road trip of the year to Overland Park, Kansas, as we welcome alongside Jack Maurice. Jack, with this Omaha team, doesn't look like they've had bust legs so far. They've been able to come out sharp against KU.
Thanks for introducing me this time, Ryan. I appreciate you. The Jayhawks started off the game blazing fast. You wouldn't be able to tell which team was the 11-1 team. Kansas was just straight owning them. They were doing everything right. It seemed like Omaha was trying to be a little too fancy at first, slowed it down a bit, but even then, Kansas was having them on their toes. They were beautiful in the offensive zone. Everything that you could have wanted. A couple of shots that I surely would have thought were goals. Quick in and out on the crossbar, couldn't even tell. The Jayhawks were playing amazing until at around the 4-minute mark, Chase Mann goes down with an unfortunate injury, heads to the locker room. I think he's headed off now, but best luck to him. He's been amazing tonight as well. It's definitely going to be a big miss for Omaha. But right after that, Ryan, Rowan Vaughn comes in, does it himself, takes the lead only down to 1 for Omaha. That's exactly what you want for the Jayhawks team here, and being able to kind of have a whole intermission to kind of deal with everything, deal with all the emotions, regroup for both teams, as Omaha does a war yell as they're going out. Being able to have that time to just kind of regroup and understand, okay, this is our goal. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's get back to why we're here. And I expect the Jayhawks to have a big period coming out of this here.
Yeah, well, to start this period, the Jack will be 4-on-4 for the first 54 seconds to play. So going back to that original period, it was Blake Hearn. I had to check with the scores. It was Blake Hearn off with a 10-minute misconduct. So Andy McConnell and his team down a defenseman. Andy McConnell and his Jayhawks down a defenseman. It was a 10-minute misconduct to Hearn, 5-minute major on the slew foot, being served by Nick Catalan for the Jayhawks. As there's also a minor on the board, too, for the Omaha. That one against Nate Mitchell, the 2-minute interference call against him. So we'll open up 4-on-4 for 54 seconds. A lot of open ice for both these teams to take advantage of some fresh legs coming into the second period.
It's going to be an amazing second period here. I'm excited to get another full period of kind of that energy that we had when the game first started here. Both goalies have been incredible today. Don't let the score deceive you. Ben Olsen has stood on his head. Both of those goals, I wouldn't even say were really his fault. He's been dealt some pretty bad hands, but when the Jayhawks have needed him most, he has been incredible. And again, Nahul Veyan for Omaha, he's been amazing as well. He's a general back there. He's exactly who you want backstopping the net, and I think we're going to get a much better, much cleaner period this time.
Wayne McConnell's message to his team before the game was to play with a lot of energy, play your game, be the team you know you can be, and be mature and show ability for all 3 periods. We'll see if the Jayhawks can show it here in a second as the puck has been dropped and the Jayhawks take the opening faceoff. Behind the net, it is Veillon to pick up that puck, and he'll send it around the boards to Tessier. It's going to be a short first line for Omaha as Charles Mann going to be out the rest of this game, of course. Austin Tessier and Blake Glazer on that first line. We'll see who picks up on that first line as well. Trying to get a read here who else is on that first line. Up to Glazer. Glazer skates in, tries to dump it for Tessier. Around the boards, that puck goes. Dirk Steiner trying to pick it up. He can't. Rowan Vaughn goes streaking down, picked up instead by Ryan Hedquist. So there's the move. Ryan Hedquist, Blake Glazer, and Austin Tessier on that first line now for Nick Harahill. It's freshman, sophomore goes Harahill on that first line. Puck along to Sanchez, along the far boards. Out of the box comes Callan. Out of the box for Omaha goes Nate Mitchell. We're back to 5-on-5, even strength hockey. Shot on goal, goes aside and into the far corner. Rebound opportunity in front of the crease of Veillon. Jayhawks can't knock it home as Omaha tries to clear. They do. Stick up high goes on Hedquist shot. Kicked aside, or actually under the leg pad, of Ben Olsen, as well as our first stoppage of the second period.
It looks like the Jayhawks were a little bit hesitant to put the body on there, though. I do want to say you got to be a little bit careful with what you're doing. You can't overdo it on the body, but you still got to be physical. You got to get them off the puck. And that's no hate, no diss on Omaha. They are a strong, strong team. A lot of these Jayhawk guys are throwing their whole body at them, and they're not even moving. So I think we're going to see some more physicality, but not quite at what we saw first period.
As you see there, teams waiting to touch the puck there, as it was played with the high stick by Omaha, so the Jayhawks just going to let Omaha touch that puck. It'll be a free face-off for the Jayhawks in the defensive zone of the Mavericks.
Rowan Vaughn already just doing what he does best, flying around the net there, making those extra passes. And again, Siddons coming in earlier on with that extra last chance shot. That's exactly how you would want the Jayhawks to start the period if you're Chase.
Face-off to the right of Vayon, won by the Jayhawks. Along the far circle now, it is Aiden Siddons. Aiden Siddons tries to leave it for a teammate, nobody home. Picking up that one is Kraut. Kraut, headman up to Hunsaker. Hunsaker can't keep control of it. Instead, that is Shea dumping it in. James Shea. Behind the net now, picking that up is Kraut. Kraut and Zach Roberts battling for it along the far corner. James Shea coming in for reinforcements along with Callan. It is Kraut picking it up along the point. Kraut now to Charlie Shea. Charlie Shea shot on goal, easy save there for Ben Olsen.
John Feeney doing a great job at keeping the pressure on the blue line here. The Jayhawks have been excellent on the blue line today, especially when they've been in the offensive zone. They've done a phenomenal job of keeping the puck in and getting those extra chance opportunities. At the beginning of the season there, I thought that was a bit of a sore point for the Jayhawks, that they were letting pucks bounce over them. They've worked on that so much throughout this season, and they look like a completely different team on offense.
As we find yet another way to have a scoreboard issue in this game, the clock has been winding for about the past 30 seconds or so. It reads 17:20 right now. It's not 17:28 on our scoreboard either. It should be around 17:58. That's my guess, as we are still winding. At this point, it must be a scoreboard issue because, they would have told our scoreboard operator to stop right now. So this could be yet another lengthy delay in this game as we keep finding ways to let this game drag on.
This has just been the scoreboard game the whole time. Issues with penalties, issue with the clock. It is. Come on, guys. We've done this before. This isn't. All right, man, it actually just might have been a new guy. I don't know. I'm just hating on the guy for no reason. He does a good job. Oh, man.
So his face-off's going to come out to the right of the net of Ben Olsen after that nice save against Charlie Shea. As we yet again wait for this clock. Looks like a timer almost. I don't know if they want to really play with a running clock when it's only a one-goal game, Jack, as somebody's exiting the scorer's box right now, hopefully to try to get some answers to this problem. Because I don't think either of these coaches right now on this side of the game would like to be playing with a running clock. As finally the clock stops at 16:20. And now the scoreboard goes off. So we're going to try to reset it here.
If I'm Andy and Chase, I'm going to take this time to talk strategy with the guys here. You're getting basically a free timeout to kind of talk about how you're going to come out of this face-off. You're in your own end here, and you got to do a much better job of kind of getting it out here. So it looks like the guys are going to head back to their bench and just take it, I guess. Issues upon issues today.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Clock at 16:19 and stopped about a minute and a half too far gone. Clock gets reset to 17:43.
Oh, there we go.
I think they're going to ask for it to get bumped up a little more maybe. We'll see. But
they might be too scared to mess with the clock at this point.
We'll see. Jack,
oh, look at that. Ryan, you're pretty close to it.
17:50. There you go.
That's close enough.
Jack, what have you liked from KE out of these first 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the second period? What do they need to improve on? What do you like?
Jayhawks have already been aggressive going on. That's what I was saying that I really wanted to see kind of coming out of the intermission here. They've done exactly that. They've been a bit better on defense. I think there's been a bit of sloppy passes here, but they're doing what they need to do. Omaha's playing how they've been playing pretty much all game. They're a fast, aggressive, and highly skilled team.
As you can hear some physicality along the boards there. This puck is scooped up by Travis Breyer. Headman up to Brett Siddons, the captain. Siddons along the right wing side. Siddons around one. Brett Siddons tries to get it down low, trying to find Feeney. Can't hit. Omaha, nice job being physical. Feeney and Hunsaker battle for it. Loose now. Aiden Siddons tries to dive for it. He can't get it. Brett Siddons now tries to fight it off the stick of Blake Glazer, but he's able to headman it up now. Loose puck in the Jayhawks defensive zone as here comes KU the other way. Brett Siddons battling with Carson Fitch. Siddons' shot goes wide of net. Puck played out now up top and not able to keep it in there is Aiden Siddons. Jayhawks gets a reset here on the delayed offsides.
Great last-ditch effort there by the Siddons twins, both doing a good job of trying to get one last shot there, catch them off their toes.
George Bullard gets played off the puck there, but able to send it down to Travis Breyer just in the nick of time. Ugly turnover there by Breyer. Opportunity for the Mavericks. That puck goes through the crease of Olsen. Shot there by Hunter, got tipped in front of the net of Olsen as it went wide, as now this puck sent down for an icing.
Not much you could quite do there if you're the Jayhawks. It's a bit messy around their own net there. The best you could do is shoot it down the ice, take an icing, and regroup.
16 shots on goal for Omaha, 14 for the Jayhawks. We finally have a clean penalties, no penalties on the scoreboard for the first time in what feels like a while in this game.
Don't jinx it, Ryan.
Behind the net, Brett Siddons picks up this puck as he tries to headman it up to Aiden Siddons, his brother. Aiden can't get to it in time. Getting to it first is Nate Mitchell. He'll dump it into the Jayhawk zone. Omaha goes on the forecheck here. Dirkshire with it. Dirkshire shot, glove save there by Olsen.
Olsen saw that all the way through. Stands square, raises up the glove hand. Not much more you could ask from him. He's been incredible tonight. Omaha doing a much better job of keeping it kind of in the offensive zone. It looked like they were a bit sloppier in the first with dealing with the puck, trying to keep it in, but they've done a better job of keeping it on their own as the ref stands in the middle of action there.
Fourth line's out for both these teams right now. Malcolm Johnson played off the puck there as he loses his stick. Johnson has to go stickless here. Up top, it is Mitchell. Mitchell's shot off the skate of Malcolm Johnson, doing all he can to do without a stick. So he finally goes to pick it up behind the net of Ben Olsen. As the puck, though, sent into the Omaha defensive zone. Trying to glove it down there was Danny Callaghan for the Jayhawks, excuse me. Puck almost played with the high stick there by Barrett Bradley. Waved off, though, by the refs. As this puck gets sent down the length yet again by the Jayhawks. Picking it up is Dirk Schneider.
Krugel and Johnson both jawing at some of the opposing players. Johnson, no stick in hand. He just goes for the shove and stops him dead in his tracks. Johnson, 6'1", 200. That's somebody that is quite honestly the last person that I would want to run into on the ice.
Yeah, you also got Nate Mitchell as well, the freshman defenseman for Omaha. He stands at, if you can see his size on the ice, he stands at 6'5", 190 pounds. Nick Harrell, though, loves his play. Very physical guy, just for his height, but also, for the lack of weight that he has for being 6'5". Very physical guy out on the ice. That's Glazer along the right wing boards. Glazer down to Farnsworth. Farnsworth tips it around to Hunsaker. Puck intercepted and neutralized by the Jayhawks. Still send it down. It doesn't go far enough for an icing. Omaha tips it in front of their net. Neutralized now. Bowerly tries to pick up that puck. He can't. Instead, taken by Glazer. Gonna call him Blake Glazer's name a lot tonight. Glazer behind the net now. Goes skate to stick. Circles around with Roberts. Trying to go hot potato there with the teammate. Can't. Shot on there. Off a skate, I think, in front of the net of Olsen, and the puck goes wide. 14.5 to go in the second period. Puck jarred loose by Glazer again. He's up top. Glazer can't keep it in as Mavericks going to touch up. Nice poke check there by Matthew Lang. Turnover now for Mavericks, in favor of the Jayhawks. They regain possession.
Like you were saying, Ryan, great, smart heads-up play there for Matthew Lang. Taking the stick in, goes for the poke check, but not quite enough where he's going to trip the guy. Just a smart, clean play by Lang there.
Offsides against KU. Face-off coming to neutral ice as both teams will go for a line change. Second line out for the Jayhawks. Third line out for Omaha. Taking the face-off for Omaha, James Shea. Hudson Huber for the Jayhawks. And at the end of the day, James Shea won that one. Going back down to retreat to get that puck is Ignachev. Ignatieff battles for possession with James Shea. Shea able to dump it to another teammate. Along the wall, this puck goes. Rowan Vaughn able to tip it out and neutralize as Jayhawks race in on the forecheck. Gloving that one down and neutralizes Breyer. Breyer tries to find a teammate. It does find one, not the one he was thinking of. It's Ignatieff. Puck shot down, icing, waved off here. Shooting that one before the red line, center red line, was Charlie Shea. High slot opportunity, a little knuckle puck, slow puck there on the net of Ben Olsen as he's able to come up with that save.
A little bit uncoordinated by the Jayhawks there as we kind of near the halfway mark of the period. Just pucks being thrown around here. Not a lot of conversation between the players, but they've done an excellent job getting those last-ditch effort pucks across the offensive line there.
Face-off one. Shot off face-off by Kraut. Goes off a body, and it's now played by Callaghan. Callaghan tries to get control of it from Glazer. He can't, as Omaha now will work their offense. Going fast there was Kraut. Stops on a dime and sends it around the boards. Keeping that puck dumped in is Charlie Shea. Malcolm Johnson battling for possession along with his defensive partner Luke Nessa. Able to come away with it. Charlie Shea calling for the puck. Save. Rebound opportunity there for Wyatt Wagner. He was calling for the puck into high slot as he got it, though, instead off a rebound opportunity. Hunsaker up top. Shea. High slot goes wide of the net. Along the wall now. Both teams battle for this one. Sent around. It'll be easily picked up by Malcolm Johnson behind his net. Omaha trying to keep the pressure on. Headman pass sent for Rowan Vaughn. Couldn't stick on that one. Could Vaughn. So it'll be an icing assessed here against KU.
Omaha really putting the pressure on the Jayhawks here. It really seems like the only offense that they've been able to generate recently is just Hail Mary passing it in through center ice there. Unfortunately, it's caused a lot of icings for them tonight, but if they could really just kind of get some more stuff going here, if we can get those top six lines, top six, not really top six lines out here, that's going to be a big difference maker for them.
Yeah, shots on goal now, 20 for Omaha, 14 for KU. Script has flipped so far in the beginning part of the second period. Here come the Jayhawks. They're 3-on-1 if they hurry. That's Huber. Huber to Callaghan. Callaghan shot. He scores! Danny Callaghan mobbed by his teammates behind the net. His fourth goal of the season knots this game up at 2 apiece.
Gorgeous, gorgeous goal there. Some might call it a shell goal, but that was exactly what you want from the Jayhawks there. You take advantage of their mistake at center ice, odd man rush. You stay patient, but you make the smart shot there. He beat him already. He already saw the shot go through there. That was clean as could be. What a goal to tie this game up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, speaking of capitalizing, Jack, that's something Andy McConnell emphasized before the game for the Jayhawks. Capitalize on the mistakes that Omaha makes, and sure enough, Omaha defenseman loses an edge. Jayhawks go out on a 3-on-1, and Danny Callaghan tucks it glove side along the post of Vayon. Vayon just couldn't tuck up enough as we have a brand new hockey game with just over 11 minutes to go in the second period. As the Jayhawks look to keep the pressure on the gas pedal. Tipped in front of the net by Brett Siddons, saved by Vayon. I think it went off his right, the lower part of his right pad. Played by Fitch, backhanded now. Headman. Omaha is 3-on-2, 2-on-2, excuse me, now as they go for a line change. Shot wide of the net of Olsen as it's John Feeney now who picks up this one. He'll try to find Brett Siddons. Instead, 2 Jayhawks collide with each other. Both Siddons brothers do. This is Cahalan with the shot. Shot goes wide, saved by Vayon as ugly-looking offensive play there by the Jayhawks. Both Siddons brothers collide with each other there, just doing a little too much puck watching, I think, Jack.
I think there was a little too much of a sibling connection going on there, but I am shocked that not a single penalty came out of that. There could have been at least 3 or 4 tripping calls there, but looks like the refs just decided they were all collisions and decided to let them play here.
Face-off to the right of Vayon, won by the Jayhawks. Breyer off the draw around the boards. Far corner now. Pressing up against the boards there is Barrett Bradley. Bradley forces a turnover by the Jayhawks as Epperson has to puck on his stick. Sent down the length of the ice, and it's an icing against Omaha, just beating that one out there in the race. I think that was Ignatieff for the Jayhawks.
A lot of Omaha fans not too happy with some of the ref play here tonight. refs having a word with the Jayhawks bench there, probably giving them a warning about deciding to trip everybody on the ice there.
Face off to the right, won by the Jayhawks. This is Luke Lamb. Lamb trying to feed it down to Woolington. Can't connect as here comes Omaha. They exit the zone. Not good passing there by Omaha. Ignachev took a hit there, and he hit backup goaltender along the bench. That was Easton Mesher. He had the iPad on him and almost dropped it. Luckily there, Nick Carahill and the Mavericks don't have to pay an iPad bill. In the neutral ice now, this puck is played loosely. Ignachev able to dump it back in, and Hunsaker has to go to retreat. Hunsaker turns it over. Luke Lamb around the boards. Lamb will go for a change. Near corner, this puck is played by Omaha as they send it down to length. This is Epperson with an Epperson shot saved and off to the side. Far corner, Hunsaker, the defenseman, goes down the play. Hunsaker behind the net. Looking for a penalty call there, doesn't get it. Stick goes way up in the air. Omaha's player has to go retreat to grab another stick. This is Tessier along the boards. Big hit there put on by Hunsaker against Nick Woolington. Tessier's shot floats up and in the near corner. Under halfway to go into second now. Shot attempted there by Glazer. Can't. Tessier. Shot blocked there by Olsen. Olsen staying true to his post. Jayhawks trying to clear this out any way they can. They still can't. Hunsaker at the dot. Dangerous puck in front of the net of Olsen. Jayhawks able to get out of harm's way as we're going to have a stoppage here as a penalty, maybe not a penalty will be assist. Net came off its bearings, and I think that's all we're going to get out of this one. Ben Olsen's net came off its bearings. Puck was already exiting the defensive zone of the Jayhawks.
It is getting pretty chippy out here, Ryan. A lot of body shoving going on in the offensive zone here as they're going back and forth, but Ben Olsen gets shoved into the back of his net. Looks like the Jayhawks didn't take too kindly to their goaltender being shoved there.
That was Daniel Ignachev, the freshman from Baser, Kansas, letting the Mavericks know that, yeah, he didn't like that too much. Faced off to the left of Olsen, played off the draw by Bowerly, and pushed into neutral ice. Mavericks hit the touch up. Ben Olsen has a little bit of time to play it behind his net as he leaves it for Nessa. Nessa wraps it around Bullard now. Trying to keep it in there is Mitchell. He does. The big freshman defenseman out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Puck played off Mitchell's stick there and down to Bowerly. Bowerly shot. Glove save by Vayon. Vayon looking at his glove. He used to try to catch it as it'll be yet another penalty assessed in this game. This time coming against the Mavericks. Looks like it was a boarding, I think, is what has been assessed to Austin Tessier. It'll be, I think, a boarding against him, but the Jayhawks will take whatever they can get. It's going to be a power play, 2 minutes for KU.
Getting some notes from our cameraman, Dan here. Just getting a quick replay on the little Ben Olsen shove there. It looks like where the Omaha players took a big fat elbow right into Olsen's stomach, shoving him down there.
Jayhawks on the draw after the power play. Feeney with it. Feeney around as Luke Nessa was not home. Feeney not keeping his head up. Nessa not knowing where he's supposed to be. Maybe a little bit of both. As the Jayhawks have to start this power play in their own D zone. Nessa fighting off a Maverick. Mavericks looking a little aggressive here on shorthanded. That was Wyatt Wagner down deep. Brett Siddons now through one. Aiden Siddons tries to get a shot on. He can't. Vayon gets tripped up. No penalties assessed here. Omaha sends it down the length as it's left on the stick of Ben Olsen.
Vayon doing his best Marc-Andre Fleury impression with the little windmill there.
Siddons. Brett Siddons skates down Broadway right now. Through one. Can't get off the hit, though, of Carson Fitch as the Mavericks try to send it down the length. Nessa picks it up. Wyatt Wagner that was Blake Glazer that time. Very aggressive, shorthanded, as it's offsides called here against the Jayhawks. As they say, John Feeney didn't have that back skate on the blue line when that puck entered.
Omaha playing angry tonight. They are just standing and waiting for Jayhawks to come in right into them there. They are understandably angry about how the game has gone. One of your starters going out, and then the Jayhawks coming back down with 2 unanswered goals here not necessarily where you want to be in this game.
Vaughn with it now in neutral ice. Jayhawks finally enter. Vaughn off the boards, going to try to find Callaghan. Nice shot by Callaghan to get untangled and get it. Around to Roberts it goes. Now up top to Vaughn. Vaughn shot off the stick of Huber and up and out into the net.
Great net foot presence by Huber there. He had the right idea going for the tip there, but he just tipped a bit too high. Quick comment, what an incredible heads-up play by Callaghan there. Just standing there as kind of screening the player so Siddons can come dangling around him there. Just a great play to understand where your guy is and how you can help him out there.
48 seconds to go in the power play opportunity for the Jayhawks. It was a minor against Austin Tessier. Up top shot, deflected in front of the net of Vayon as Omaha sends this one down the length of the ice. Ben Olsen opts not to pick that one up, as he'll leave it for Rowan Vaughn. 30 seconds to go in the power play for the Jayhawks as they run the weave. Malcolm Johnson tries to dump it for Vaughn. All momentum lost for the Jayhawks right now on this power play. Vaughn over to Roberts. Roberts flips it up and back to Roberts now. Roberts pushed off the puck there by a smaller guy. Nice job there by Glazer. Shot on. Rebound opportunity for Glazer. He scores! Blake Glazer's aggressiveness against Zach Roberts is rewarded as he has his third shorthanded goal of the season.
Difficult play to have here as I'm watching the replay. Didn't look like Ben was able to control the rebound quite enough there. He comes in, he goes 5-hole right on there. Not much you could do about that. You got to be better on the rebound, but after that, it's not in your hands anymore. Not something you want to give up after scoring 2 unanswered here. It's a tough place to be, and now you're back where you started, down a goal.
Yeah, Glazer, his team leading now, 15th goal of the season, breaks a tie with Ryan Hedquist. The 2 freshmen doing a lot of work for Omaha. Out of the box is Tessier, as we're going to get another penalty assessed here. This time it's going to be a tripping call against Omaha. So the Jayhawks power play going to be right back at it. This trip against Charlie Shea.
Omaha just deciding to just give him another power play here. It worked so well for them last time. Why not do it again?
Yeah, Omaha's penalty kill this year, 86%. Of course, those numbers have fluctuated a little bit. Of course, the Jayhawks have had a power play goal or a goal, 2 goals of their own tonight. I don't think was Vaughn on the power play. I don't think it wasn't on the power play. So of course, their penalty kill numbers have gone up this game. Probably doing 87 or 88%, but still a very solid power play, or excuse me, penalty kill for Omaha. They immediately send this one down the length of the ice. Picking it up is Brett Siddons as the Jayhawks look to enter the offensive zone. Siddons will dump it in around Vayon. He's able to stop that one. Aiden Siddons to pick it up. Siddons along the half wall. Saucers it to Nessa. Nessa to Brett Siddons now. Up top to Nessa at the point. To Feeney. Feeney back to Nessa. High slot. Nessa shot. Deflected in front of the net and off to the side. Here's a rebound opportunity. Shot there. Puck played in front of the net of Vayon. Still looking for control of it as it goes behind Vayon's net. As it's going to be yet another penalty assessed. This one against Omaha. As here we go, folks. Big skirmish behind the net of Vayon as both teams going at it. It was an Omaha player. I think it was a cross. It's going to be a cross check against the Mavericks.
Like 3 cross
if I don't get it wrong. But I think now this might come to bite KU in the butt. As who knows, we might have a penalty assessed against KU as well. Hunsaker is going to go sit for the Mavericks. There's a couple Jayhawks players on the bench. Wave him goodbye over to the penalty box. Now you have to see if this could come back, to bite KU, and if a penalty will be assessed against the Jayhawks as well.
That was stupid. What are you doing going for the cross check? 1, 2, 3, 4. Stops. 1, 2, 3 in the head right after that. Clear as day. What are you doing? That's a dumb play. You let your emotions get the best of you in that moment. That was just a bit excessive. Don't know if that's necessarily the best choice by Omaha there.
Yeah, both the referees talking in front of the scores table right now. See what we might get out of this one. It's going to, at the very least, be only 3 men on the ice for Omaha. Most likely going to be a 5-on-3, barring any penalties against KU for this one. It will be Troy Hunsaker sitting.
Yeah, I don't know how
senior
he doesn't
defenseman
sit. That
for
was
Omaha.
that was ridiculous. That was completely unnecessary. KU's already down by the boards there. You go in again, 1, 2, 3 stops, 1, 2, 3 on the head. That it's excessive. It's ridiculous. Come on, dude.
Imagine at this point if it's going to be a major, maybe talking about a game misconduct. I have no idea.
At this point, I just don't know. Like maybe they'll put it on the board. Maybe the board will break again. It's just getting ridiculous. Hope you like looking at empty ice, Ryan, and just looking at the scoreboard.
It's going to be a late night in Overland Park, folks. Local time right now, 9:41 p.m., and we haven't even reached the 6-minute mark of the second period. Be a late drive back to Lawrence.
It'll be all right.
So both teams wait for an explanation. So Camden Fories, the captain for Omaha, waiting, as well as Brett Siddons, the captain for the Jayhawks, waiting, as both the referees taking their time discussing this one.
Getting some good theatrics here by Camera Dan. Doing his best charades of what was going on here behind the camera. Yep, one. Yeah. Thanks for the replay, Dan.
You just have to wonder if the referees saw those punches or not. You never know from the angles they had.
Absolutely, yeah. It looked like one of the referees was kind of standing a little close to him. I figured he would have seen something.
Maybe. Who knows what angles they had, but we're still talking right now, our referees. Jack, with just 6 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the middle frame to play, what have you been liking so far from the Jayhawks? Of course, they've got one goal on the board to tie this game up. What do they need to do to keep this a one-goal game?
6 minutes, 7 seconds. Oh, fine. Yeah, absolutely. There's only a little under over a quarter left of the game here. It's getting to the point where it's a bit ridiculous. We're getting to the point that we were kind of near the beginning of the period where it was just unnecessary stoppage here. Everybody here wants to kind of get on with the game. Omaha just came out after KU scored to even it up there. They just played intense. It was like unlike anything we've seen from this team already. They came out angry. They came out ready to throw bodies, and they did just that there.
When they have a 3-2 lead right now, courtesy, of course, of that Blake Glazer shorthanded goal. As our referees have came to the decision, it looks like Brett Siddons left early. Camden Fories waiting for a longer explanation. So typically that means good things if you're a Jayhawk fan.
Here's some talking down on the ice between some of the players here.
Okay, so Aiden Siddons going to go sit for the Jayhawks. Not pleased with that is Aiden. And we're going to see exactly what we have called here. Looks like an Omaha player, Troy Hunsaker. Looks like he's going to go up and leave the ice. So it looks like we're going to have a 10-minute misconduct here called against Hunsaker to go with a 5-minute major as well. Hunsaker waves goodbye to the KU bench as the KU bench waves goodbye to him as well, as you could just cut the tension with a knife right now, Jack. It is that thick.
Oh, yeah. Hunsaker still staying out there, just having some words with his head coach there as he just kind of shakes his head, looks away from Hunsaker there. That's not much you could really do to defend that.
So now head coach Nick Harahill for Omaha is taking a look at his roster. Going to see who will to send to serve that 5-minute major against Hunsaker. Again, no idea what the major is going to be. We'll get a chance to check during the second intermission. Of course, don't really get no PA this game, so or there is PA, but not the greatest audio quality.
There's
so
not
we'll
a
find out. We'll find out eventually.
Referees sure do like their drama in this game, just taking their sweet time to figure out who's getting what.
I mean, when you got big scrums like that, it takes a while, Jack.
Oh, absolutely. We're halfway there. Some good music tonight here at Blue Hawk. It's been a bit of an edit. I know cameraman Kyle Eberts put in some of his music recommendations for Blue Hawk here. It sounded like that they're actually playing some of his stuff tonight.
Okay, so Logan Hadfield goes to the box for Omaha. he is going to be serving that 5-minute major against Troy Hunsaker. Still trying to get this figured out. And then it'll be Aiden Siddons going to the box for a minor. Didn't see what the call against Aiden was, unfortunately.
Might be something we might have to check out afterwards. I'm not even in class right now, and I feel like this is like I feel like I'm in class right now trying to manage all these.
Okay, so here we got 4-on-3 for the Jayhawks for the next minute 11 seconds, so we'll figure it out from there. Johnson up high. Johnson high slot shot, kicked aside by Vayon. As Omaha sends this one down the length of the ice, Ben Olsen to pick it up. So after the penalty expires to Charlie Shea, it'll be 4-on-4 for the next minute 39, and then a 3-minute 5-on-4 for the Jayhawks. Write that one down if you're at home.
Oh, man.
We'll break it down here as it starts to unfold. Brett Siddons circles around. Siddons shot. Didn't get to the net. Vayon. Up top now, it's Johnson. Looks to slap it. Wrists it instead. Saved by Vayon as Omaha sends this one down the length yet again. Olsen out of his net to pick it up into trapezoid.
Johnson doing a good job of waiting and winding up there, trying to find the perfect shot. Fortunately, couldn't make it through there, but he's had a great game.
Feeney dumps it down for Brett Siddons, able to keep his foot behind the blue line there with Siddons, or in front of it, I should say, with Siddons. Luke Nessa, cross ice to Johnson. Johnson back to Nessa, up top to Brett Siddons. One-time shot off the side of the net there by Malcolm Johnson. Out of the box comes Shea. We're 4-on-4 for the next 43 seconds until we get a Jayhawk power play. Brett Siddons to Nessa. Up to Brett Siddons yet again. Siddons from the circle. Saved by Vayon.
What a save by Vayon there. Jayhawks doing a great job of cycling through all of their options there. They had about 2 or 3 scoring chances at just kind of going through that. But, I mean, what a save by Vayon. He waits, he sees it all the way through, and he stands tall. Just exactly what you want from your goaltender in these type of high-stress situations.
So 33 seconds to go on the minor to Aiden Siddons. There'll be 3 minutes of 5-on-4 time, courtesy of the 5-minute major. That's to Troy Hunsaker. Shots on goal are Omaha's way. 24 for the Mavericks, 22 for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks have closed that gap now down to only 2. Finding that is Farnsworth in the far corner.
Another
16
penalty
seconds,
about to be
4-on-4.
called here. Wow.
Carson Flitch, as we are going to have a penalty called here, Jack. It's going to be delayed against KU. Shot there as it's touched by Roberts. As we have some more chirping behind the net of Ben Olsen. That is Farnsworth and Callaghan chirping. And it's going to be Callaghan getting his name called for the box.
I don't know what you're doing talking to Callaghan like that. Callaghan's got he's got a good 6 or 7 inches on you there. I mean, you're looking up at a tower there.
So yeah, it's going to be a minor cross-checking assist to Danny Callaghan. So wipe out everything I said before. It's going to be a 4-on-3 power play for Omaha for 9 seconds. Once Aiden Siddons comes out of the box, we'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 51. And then for about a minute 20 and change, it'll be a Jayhawk power play, again, barring any more penalties against either of these teams.
These referees have their work cut out for them tonight. I didn't think they would be expected to do this much paperwork.
Off the draw, this is Forey's. Forey's shot tries to pick his spot up above the glove of Olsen as he misses. Aiden Siddons out of the box. We're 4-on-4 for the next minute 46. Big advantage to Omaha here. They're fast skaters. We'll get some extra open ice to play with. This is Dirk Schneider. Dirk Schneider up top to Hedquist. Hedquist now sends it across. Shot on, goes wide of the net of Olsen. Played by Johnson. Johnson tries to headman it, and he can't find his man. It'll be an icing assessed against KU.
Just a very blah end of the period here. Really seems like neither of these teams are kind of doing their best at making any plays here. But I will say the one good thing that's really come out of this is that the Jayhawks play in the neutral zone has been phenomenal tonight. They've been amazing defensively, just cutting off all of these passes. And then that's where a lot of their goals have started off in, or plays in the neutral zone, whether it be just that extra pass to give them an on-man rush or just playing great defensively to give them that chance.
Huber picks it up for the Jayhawks. All 3 showing on the game clock. Huber enters into zone, flips it on the backhand Intercepted, though, and picked up by Hedquist. Hedquist headmans it up to Hadfield. Excuse me, that's not Hadfield. That is Glazer. Glazer goes forehand up and above the net of Olsen into the netting and out of play.
Glazer he just glides around, comes in, waits, just goes for that extra just top shelf shot there. I mean, he has just been incredible tonight. There's definitely a reason why he has, 30 points tonight, or as of tonight. He's been incredible.
Yeah, Glazer now has 17 points on the year, and that's just from his goals. If you add that up all together, that's 32 points on the year, Jack, including the assist.
Absolutely insane.
Puck played by Nessa, 39 seconds to go, 4-on-4 action. Getting that is Farnsworth with one hand. Nice job by the young man as he'll send it around the boards. Referee protecting his head here. Bowerly picks it up. Dangerous center ice pass there. Trying to find Lang. Picking it up is Omaha. Kraut trying to keep it in as Mitchell. He does, for the meantime at least. He goes cross ice now. Shot there off the stick of a Jayhawk. Goes up and above the crossbar behind the net of Olsen. KU picks it up as they try to headman it up to Bowerly. Bowerly, though, lost an edge as Nate Mitchell will easily scoop that one up for KU. Coming out of the box now in 2 seconds as here he comes is Danny Callaghan. 5-on-4 power play for the Jayhawks for the next 65 seconds. Nessa will bring that one dangerously in front of the net of his netminder, Olsen, and Jayhawks pick it up at the dot. Zach Roberts to Bullard. Bullard will try to get past the speedy Wagner. He can't. Boy, Wyatt Wagner putting his speed on display tonight. Farnsworth will send that one down the length of the ice. 42 seconds to go on the power play for KU. It's man advantage for KU as this puck goes in front of the net of Olsen, and it's looking a little choppy right now for KU. Having to dodge a player there was a referee hopping over him like the hurdles. Nice job there. 25 seconds to go in the power play for the Jayhawks as they finally, looks like, will be able to enter the zone. They do. Rowan Vaughn along the right side. Vaughn dumps it for Huber, excuse me. Huber up to Roberts. Roberts loses control for a second. 13 seconds on the power play. Shot on. Goes out into the far corner. Jayhawks up high. Cross ice. Trying to connect there with an open net. Couldn't. That was Huber. Huber with it again on the stick. Huber tries to go around one. He can't. Omaha sends it down the length. And it's going to be no icing here. Unfortunate time for the Jayhawks. It's coming out of the box was Logan Hadfield. Hadfield, center ice for Wagner. Wagner, though, off his stick. One behind the net. He'll send it up to Despirito. Despirito down to Shea. Or Wagner, excuse me. Wagner to Geff. Geff keeps it in. Back up to Despirito. Despirito, excuse me. Puck played at center ice by Beff. 33 seconds to go in the second period. Jayhawks down 1. Alongside Jack and Maurice, I'm Ryan Cartman. The first of 2 games here being played at Advent Health Sports Park between the Mavericks from Omaha and your Jayhawks.
About 20 seconds left here in the period. Give the Omaha one last odd-man rush here.
One last rush for the Mavericks. Here it comes, getting around 1. Center ice, shot there by Tessier. Rebound opportunity on the backhand for Glazer. He can't get it to go behind the net, or into the net, excuse me, of Ben Olsen. Keeping that in is Omaha. They have 4 seconds to go. Olsen kicks that one aside, and that'll do it for our second period. And Jack, it was a second period marked by physicality and a lot of roughness.
Talk about penalties. Oh, man. That was a bit ridiculous. But Ben Olsen ending it off, standing tall and strong like he has all night. He has been incredible. Just what a great sequence of saves right there. He had the man all alone, just right in front of him. Thought he was going to go slot, makes a save, gets it away. What a great way to end that period.
The Jayhawks competing against a very talented Omaha Mavericks team, the best team they faced all year, an 11-1-1 Mavericks team against the 7-2-1 Jayhawks. Jayhawks holding their own so far, entering the second intermission, down 1, 27 shots on goal for Omaha, 23 shots on goal for the Jayhawks. Omaha's goal this period coming shorthanded, courtesy of Blake Glazer, his 17th goal of the season. Jayhawk goal coming courtesy from none other than, it was Danny Callaghan, excuse me. Danny Callaghan scored that second goal. I was going to say Rowan Vaughn. He had the first period goal. Coming though from Danny Callaghan, of course, gotta love his contribution there. His 4th goal of the season as the Jayhawks find themselves entering the intermission yet again, down by 1 goal as the Jayhawks trying to scrape out a win here against a rough Omaha Mavericks team. We'll keep it right here as we enter the second intermission on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. Back inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk to start off the third period. We have a tight one in some Matcha Silver West play between the Omaha Mavericks and the Kansas Jayhawks. Omaha right now with the lead, up 3-2 over the Jayhawks. And boy, oh boy, has it been a tight one. Alongside Jack and Maurice, I'm Ryan Cartman. And yeah, Jack, like I was saying, it has been a tight one indeed.
Oh my, yeah, I am shocked. We just got a message, or got a question from one of the fans in the stands here of how many penalty minutes there's been. I'm going to guess over 50.
Well, we'll see if we have any more, Jack, as the puck for the third period has been dropped. As it is Omaha to come away with it, and then they go offsides. So 8 seconds in to the third period, we'll have our first stoppage of this final act of play. Jack, as we head into this third period, what are you looking for from KU? How do they tie this game up and maybe even come away with a regulation win?
They need to come up. They need to have the swagger that they had when they were back in the game. They need to just, make the plays that they need to come in. And just like what Coach McConnell said, they need to play their game.
Farnsworth shoots it into the offensive zone off the boards, and it finds its way to the Jayhawks. Nesta up ice, off the stick of Tessier. Tessier finds it up now to Fories, the captain. Fories loses control for a second, almost picked up in the high slot there by a shrieking Charlie Shea as Omaha gets a turnover again. Back and forth go the Mavericks there. That shot goes off to the side of the net of Ben Olsen. Callaghan now, far boards. Vaughn tips it to Huber. Huber now tries to go through one, can't. Center ice now for Vaughn. Omaha there yet again. Maverick defense staunch right now to start the third period. Cross size, shot, save by Olsen on the glove hand.
Olsen just tracking it all the way through. Starts over on his right-hand side, glides over to his left, stands square, gets the glove ready, right where he wants it. Great sequence by Ben Olsen there.
Yeah, great opportunity there for Blake Glazer. Not enough times we can say his name tonight. As his faceoff comes out to the left of the net of Olsen. Off the draw, it's the Jayhawks that win it. They'll send it down to neutral ice. Picked up by Dirk Schneider for a second, but the Jayhawks force him to lose control of it as they work on the forecheck. Losing his stick there is Mitchell. All he can do is just kick it out of harm's way. Shot on there from a far distance, saved by Veillon as it finds its way into neutral ice. Jayhawks touched up on a delayed offsides. That is Dirk Schneider now with it. He has a stick back. Dirk Schneider, Hatfield, cross ice to Epperson. Epperson will dump it in, picking it up those Callahan. Callahan, though, lost control of it. It's Epperson again with it on the backhand. Epperson tries to center, can't. Brett Siddons has control now as the Jayhawks come racing down to ice as they enter the zone. This is Feeney. Feeney will wrap it around. Feeney trying to center it for both Siddons brothers. Both of them, though, were tangled up as it is Callahan to retreat the puck. Callahan will shoot it behind the net of Veillon. Far half wall now. Aiden Siddons forces the pressure. He has the puck now. Two Jayhawks down below. It's both Siddons brothers. Jayhawks trying to find maybe a little bit of Siddons magic tonight. Dumping that puck in is Wyatt Wagner as Omaha goes to work on the forecheck. Wagner trying to feed it up high to Fitch as it's sent down to length. Playing out of his net is Veillon. Veillon will leave it for Carson Fitch, the freshman out of Sioux City, Iowa. Fitch up to Hedquist. Hedquist will dump it along the boards. Behind the net, it's played by Olsen. Here's Beth. Beth's shot didn't get through. Hit off Hedquist. Losing his stick there is Fitch. Fitch will have to go retrieve it and pick it up. Shot on, tipped in front of the net of Olsen. Saved by Ben. Behind the net, this puck lies. Hubert trying to clear it. He tries to Rowan Vaughn. He can't. Hedquist will lay it up in front of the crease of Olsen. It's played into the near boards. Under 17 minutes to go in this third period to play. Both teams vying for possession. Offsides called against the Jayhawks. Tough offsides called against them. I don't think Rowan Vaughn didn't like that one too much. Hudson Huber doesn't either. But the Jayhawks will have to settle with a neutral zone faceoff.
What a great sequence there by both teams here. A lot better than what it's been recently where it's just the constant penalties and the shoving. This has been a good, clean game now. They're playing what they need to do. Not a lot of stoppage here. This is, I think, what the coaches were really hoping for this game.
Ness off the faceoff, dumps it in to Farnsworth, and Farnsworth sends a headman pass up the ice. Trying to get a shot off there was Charlie Shea. Instead, he'll go around the boards and he'll send it up into the netting. Yet another stoppage.
I think one of the major things that both teams really need to know as they kind of close out the final frame of this game tonight is just we can't let the emotions get too much here. I mean, all game, it's just been a constant back and forth. Tensions are running high. But if you let it devolve into just a mess, it's just going to make it a longer and harder game for everybody involved. It's going to be important for each team to keep it clean and stay focused.
Face-off right of Olsen, shot off the draw. Rebound opportunity for Omaha. Goes off behind it out of Olsen. Picking it up now is Callaghan. Callaghan cross ice to Vaughn. Losing a edge there was Kraut. Here's a shot by Vaughn. Kicked aside. Rebound opportunity in front of the net. Omaha gets to it first. And Farnsworth. Far half wall now. Shea. Shot there. Glove down. Rebound opportunity again, though. Finds its way to the stick of Kraut. Farnsworth on the backhand around to Charlie Shea. Charlie Shea backhands it back to Fories, and Fories goes back to Shea as now Omaha clears. This is Kraut along the right wing side. Kraut works around Nessa. Kraut with the stick on his, or a puck on the stick, excuse me. Shot opportunity there for Farnsworth and goes through the crease of Olsen. Farnsworth up again on the circle. Shot through traffic. Rebound opportunity. How did Ben Olsen save that one? I thought that was a for sure goal for Omaha, and Ben Olsen working left to right. What a nice job by the by the sophomore junior netminder.
You can't even tell anymore. He plays like an upperclassman. Just the Omaha just standing right back, kind of all up in his blind spot. But Ben, he's hyper aware. He knows to get that leg all the way back, make that stretch, and just make an incredible athletic save tonight.
First line out for Omaha. Again, remember, that is Ryan Hedquist stepping up on the first line. There's a big hit put on there against Blake Bowerly because Chase Mann is out for the remainder of this game. You would imagine a week in two with what looks to be, I hate to assume, but what looks to be some sort of concussion. From the point, going around the boards with this puck. Near side now, Robert tries to keep it, and he can't. It'll be Nick Cahalan to pick it up instead. Matthew Lang backhands it behind the net of Veon, and Veon will send out one on the forehand, right back to Lang. Lang with it along the near boards now. This puck is loose for Bowerly. Bowerly down to Bullard. Bullard trying to center it for Lang. Can't find him. Lang was just too far up in the slot. Along the stanchion, this puck goes, finds its way to the stick of Zach Roberts. Roberts along the boards. Jayhawks just trying to get some offensive zone momentum here. Have had a couple scoring opportunities this third period, but they're going to need some more. In a hurry, ugly defensive change there for the Jayhawks. Luckily, it results in an icing for KU. And I'm going to be honest, not a little questionable call there. Omaha's bench didn't like it too much either.
A bit early on that call there, but it's a bit of an awkward change for KU there. I think it looks like Aiden Siddons was going in for the change there, but as the puck started to glide right past him, he knew he had to go get that and try and get the icing, but not really much you can do there. Although, it looks like they're just going to call it an offsides and call it even.
Well, it's not traditional offsides either because offsides will be played at one of the red dots. So
oh, yeah.
I don't know what they're calling here. Maybe that was inadvertent, so they realized their mistake and face-offs at center ice. Either way, the Omaha has in an offensive zone. Glove down there by Maverick. In the far corner now. Hit put on there by Epperson. Lots of bodies being thrown around the ice right now. Another hit put on there, that time by Beth. Jayhawks trying to clear. They can't. Puck kept in there. Nice job keeping it in there was Omaha. Center ice pass. Intercepting it, though, is Callaghan as the Jayhawks look to exit. Down the length of the ice, and it'll be an icing against the KU this time. I do think Omaha barely got there in time. I think it was a good call by our linesman there, Jack.
That was a close one. That was quite close.
Willington almost got there, but I will give the linesman credit for that one. I think that was a good call by him.
Much cleaner game throughout this period than last two here. A little less insanity going on and a little more.
Say much gooder?
No, I didn't say much gooder. I said much better.
Oh, much better. I thought you said gooder.
Right, I am a professional in my craft here. I will use proper grammar.
Some say professional. Some say doing it for fun. You never know with Jack Maurice. In the far corner, puck played by Fitch. Fitch loses control of it as this is Krugel. Krugel tries to work around one. He does. Krugel trying to work around Hedquist as well. Going 2 against 1 is Krugel. Nice job by the young man. Coming in for reinforcements is Luke Lamb. right when Lamb came in, Omaha able to clear it out into neutral ice. Hedquist picks it up. The right-handed shot for Omaha goes cross ice, finds Fories. Fories dumps it down to Wagner. Wagner's shot goes behind the net of Olsen. Olsen tries to cover up. He can't. Puck squirts out into the far boards. Hedquist able to keep it in. High slot. Hedquist shot. Glove save there by Ben Olsen. Some glove hand larceny for the junior goaltender.
The B in Ben stands for bailout there. That was a smart heads-up play by Omaha to give him the little touch and go and get him right into position, but Ben Olsen is always one step ahead of him. Goes in, goes square, glove hand. How many times have I said that tonight? He has been incredible.
31 shots on goal for Omaha, 27 for the Jayhawks, as we're going to have a face-off infraction here enforced against Omaha. So instead it'll be James Shea to take the face-off for Omaha instead of Braden Kraut. Kraut didn't like the call too much, but he'll have to take it either way, as KU easily wins that face-off as it's played into the far corner. In neutral ice, Kraut is there to pick it up. Kraut, ugly pass there, trying to find Dirk Schneider, as Dirk Schneider has to retreat behind his net to pick it up. Puck played far boards. Brett Siddons tries to dump it in. Taken away by a Maverick and sent into neutral ice. Jayhawks try to do it yet again as they dump it in. Picked up by Dirk Schneider. Dirk Schneider along the boards to Mitchell. Mitchell, though, loses control of it for a second. Omaha tries to clear. They do. Almost picking it up on the breakaway was Omaha. They're 2-on-1 if they hurry here. This is Shea with it. Shea backhand shot off the post. He scores! James Shea's fourth goal of the season doubles up the Omaha lead. 4-2, the Mavericks go on top of the Jayhawks.
What a disgusting backhand there. He comes in, he's on his offhand. Looks like he's just going to take the shot and get the rebound, but looks like it slides right on through. So we look like we're about to have a penalty here as well.
We will. It's Dirk Schneider, Noah Dirk Schneider, the freshman defenseman out of Sioux City, Iowa, going to go to the box for a minor. Don't know what it is. Might be, something to do on sportsmanlike, if I had to guess. But Jayhawks, they give up the goal, but they get the chance to go on the power play. But thank you for the Jayhawks. You would rather, you would be okay not going on the power play for me if you didn't give up the goal.
Yeah, but the Jayhawks on the power play tonight, I mean, they've had a lot of excellent chances tonight, and being able to be kind of in a better headspace and kind of a little more focused up here than they have been on previous power plays, I think you're going to see a big difference compared to previous ones.
Off the draw, won by the Jayhawks. It is backhanded in to the zone, picked up by Vayon. Again, the minor penalty against Noah Dirk Schneider. Jayhawks yet again on the power play, as here comes Omaha on the breakaway. This is Glazer with it. Glazer forehanded. Glazer shot off of the post. Now, did that puck not go in? I don't know. Jayhawks catch a break on that one. Ben Olsen got to be thinking his post after that. High slot opportunity for George Bullard there. Omaha, though, able to get out of harm's way. And boy, Omaha has looked very good on the penalty kill tonight. Frankly, special teams has been dominated by Omaha. Wrapped around by the Jayhawks, picked up by the net by Vayon. So he'll send it the other way on the Bullard's stick. Bullard to Vaughn as Omaha loses control. Rowan Vaughn very frustrated right now. The Jayhawks just not anticipating where this puck is going to go, playing some just very poor power play right now.
You got to wonder if all of the physicality and the wear and tear of this game has really caught up to them.
Something Coach Harehill emphasized for the Mavericks was to have some defensive awareness tonight, and boy, they have been showing that. Jayhawks, meanwhile, been trying to keep their heads up more recently, trying to not puck watch, but see where they can go. Dangle there, shot on, saved by Olsen, as he's able to corral that one in front of him, as down goes a Omaha Maverick player, as Olsen stretched out for that one. I imagine nothing or something will be called. I must have missed.
Aiden will go to the box here.
I'm gonna miss that one there by Aiden Simmons. I totally missed that one, Jack.
It looks like there's just a little bit of extracurriculars going on around the crease after that save by Olsen there.
Okay, so that was my fault then. So it was not a trip over Ben Olsen. It was Aiden Simmons just blatantly pushing that Maverick over Ben Olsen, kind of like a tabletop there.
He got
gone by the shins, and he went flying down. So just another dumb penalty for the Jayhawks to take, as they're 4-on-4 now. And Omaha already has a goal in one of these 4-on-4 situations. Far corner this puck is. Behind the net of Olsen now. 18 seconds we have left on the 4-on-4 time. Half ball picked up by Omaha. Shot on there, glove down, and stopped by Olsen.
This is what I was talking about earlier before that goal from Omaha this period, is that both teams can't allow emotions to get the best of them, and that penalty by Aiden there was just prime example of what we really don't want for the rest of this game. There's about 10 minutes left, 2-goal deficit. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where it just deepens the pit and it just makes it even longer for everybody involved. You want to make sure that this ends up clean, and they've shown that it's possible to come back from these kind of deficits before, coming back down 2 goals in the second, so we'll have to see what happens here the remainder of this period.
Fories now behind the net. That is Glazer. Glazer still able to keep it on his stick. Nice job. High slot shot. Saved by Olsen and kicked to the side. Out of the box now. That is Dirk Schneider. It's going to be 5-on-4 power play for Omaha for the next 80 seconds. Wagner back to Glazer. Glazer, though, falls over a Jayhawk as this puck is left loose behind the net of Olsen. That's Matthew Lang with it as he sends it down the length of the ice. Veillon way out of his net to pick up that puck as he'll leave it for Noah Dirk Schneider, fresh out of the box. Nick Harahill opting for the fresh legs out of the box.
Omaha doing their best Kansas impression here with how they've been using the neutral zone this period.
Wyatt Wagner pushed aside by Malcolm Johnson. Lost his stick to Wagner, so he's has to play it at his skates, and he'll back kick it to Glazer as Wagner now picks up a stick. High slot shot off of a skate in front of the net there. That was Tessier with the shot. Nice little sequence there by Wyatt Wagner, able to almost cause a scoring opportunity for Omaha. Puck batted around in the far boards. Lang able to backhand it, and it is Veillon picking it up. Sent down the length now. Here is Kraut. Kraut, center ice. Chooses out Kraut with the shot. In the high slot as that went wide of the net. 5 seconds to go on the power play for Omaha. Here comes Aiden Simmons out of the box. Dirk Schneider at the point. Dirk Schneider's shot didn't make its way to the net of Olsen. It stopped in front, I want to say, by Hedquist. Opportunity here for Omaha in the low slot. Loose puck. Both teams trying to pick it up and do what they want to do with it. Behind the net, it is Kraut coming away with it. Kraut still at the point, pressured. And now here comes the Jayhawks on the breakaway. Rowan Vaughn with it. Vaughn on the forehand, backhand, forehand. Vaughn tries to go 5-hole on Veillon. Veillon does a nice job of keeping it plugged up. Trying to keep that puck in was Huber, and that'll be an easy offsides call against the Jayhawks.
A bit close there. Vaughn just taking a little bit too long to get the puck off of his stick there. Looks like he could have had just a little more time if he got it off just a bit earlier, but man, just what a good last-ditch effort there. It felt like for a while that the Jayhawks were just getting outworked by Omaha, but recently they're really putting their last little bit of blood, sweat, and tears into the remainder of this game.
And I beg your pardon there. That was Travis Breyer that went diving after that puck. Number 8 for the Jayhawks. Number 9 is Huber, so those numbers looked a little similar, but it was Breyer who tried to keep it in, but that puck was a good few inches out of the Jayhawks offensive zone. Fories up top. Shot goes well wide of the net. This is Huber with it. Huber tips it up to Callaghan. Vaughn to Callaghan. Back to Vaughn. Back to Callaghan now. And yet another offsides called against KU. They just can't they can't help but stop shooting themselves in the foot right now.
It really looks like KU is getting to the last little bit left in the tank tonight. Not really too much left for them to kind of give here. It's a late night here in Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. It is currently 10:25 p.m. A little bit of a late one tonight with all the shenanigans going on, but we've got about 8:13 left in the third period here. I'm Jack Maurice here with Ryan Cartman.
That's my job. Come on, Jack. Face-off won by Omaha. Played by a high stick by the Jayhawks. So Omaha will touch up, and here they come. Shot there by Omaha. Went off the Jayhawk defender as Luke Lamb picks it up and sends it into neutral ice. Glove down by Fories. Fories gloves it down, and he sends it behind the net of Olsen. Olsen leaves it for Nessa. Nessa tries to find a teammate. Can't, as it'll be yet another icing against KU.
Jayhawks can't seem to get a break here. It feels like that their heads quite aren't in the game like they were earlier on there. That last goal, a bit demoralizing, but it's going to take a lot more than just chucking the puck down the ice here. See what we can do about that.
7:47 to go in this final period to play. Omaha doubling up the Jayhawks on the scoreboard, up 2 goals, 4-2. Johnson behind the net, backhands it out to Callahan. Callahan gets dragged down by Fitch, looking for a penalty. Doesn't get one. Excuse me, that was Krugel, not Callaghan. Either way, here comes Fitch. Fitch trying to, I think, get a nice tip up there for Wagner. Wagner, though, not fast enough to get his stick on that. Behind the net. Woolington tipped up to Callaghan. Callaghan pushed off there by the Mavericks, but the Jayhawks look to reset. Woolington loses control of it. Fitch tries to play it out, and it's his teammate that does. And here's Hedquist. They're 2-on-1, the Mavericks are. Hedquist tries to find Zach Farnsworth. He runs into Olsen. Jayhawks won a penalty on that one, but they're not going to find one. Instead, what they'll find is yet another icing called against them.
Looks to be a bit of commotion behind the net there. It's just referee seems like that they're just about ready for their shenanigans to be over with there. It definitely seems like they're a bit tired of the Jayhawks and Omaha's antics tonight.
Well, fortunately for this officiating crew, they're going to see these same 2 teams play tomorrow afternoon. 4:15 p.m. puck drop for that one. It'll be me on the call alongside Daniel Schmidt for that game. Face off to the left of Olsen. Off the draw, this is Kraut. Kraut near corner, tries to center, instead sticked aside by Olsen behind his net as this puck gets played along the boards. Puck goes way up, they're like a fly ball, and gloving that down is a Jayhawk as it's pinned up against the boards. Getting it out, though, is Callahan. Callahan gets hit as he gets laid down on the ice. Omaha with control along the backhand. That is Shea. James Shea and Charlie Shea. Not brothers, actually, Jack. They have the same last name, but not brothers. I had to check with Coach Harrell on that one. They are not, as we have a whistle and a penalty. And I think it's going to be assessed against Omaha. Big opportunity for the Jayhawks. And speaking of him, that is James Shea going to sit his second minor of the night for a rough.
Look at
and
that.
It's his second roughing, too. He had one earlier in the game. It's another roughing for him.
If you're the Jayhawks out here, you throw out that top line. You throw out the guys that are going to help you be the most successful here. It looks like we're going to have Bullard, Huber, Lang, and then we have Rowan Vaughn and Luke Nessa over on the back blue line there.
Nessa shot tipped in front by Hubert into the far corner. Picked up Nessa at the point. Nessa shot in front of traffic there. Valen had to stand up to see that one, but it went wide of his net. I think it was tipped. This is Vaughn. Vaughn shot. Save there by Vayon with a lot of net front traffic in front of him.
Absolutely amazing little sequence there. Vaughn and Nessa on the blue line is a match made in heaven there. I mean, both of them are so responsible with the puck on the blue line. They're so talented at being able to create that space, get to the open man. Those, I can definitely see why Coach McConnell likes those 2 on the blue line there.
Face-off won by Omaha, and in the neutral ice, a minute and a half to go on the minor rough to James Shea. Shea, the freshman out of the Chicagoland area. Brett Siddons loses control for a second, loses his stick as well as he collided with Wyatt Wagner. Cross ice, this puck slowly finds its way to Matthew Lang, the Jayhawks center. Cross ice to Feeney. Jayhawks tape to tape passing, excuse me. It's been a struggle tonight and for the season, to say the least. John Feeney now. Feeney cross ice, trying to find Siddons. Yet again, Jayhawks can't connect, going tape to tape. Tangled up with Brett Siddons is Carson Fitch. Omaha wanted a penalty, I think for a hook, but they're not going to find it.
Both teams there screaming at the ref, both wanting a penalty on that little sequence there.
Brett Siddons finds Feeney. Feeney tries to work around Farnsworth. He does, but getting to it quickly was Glazer, but it's back to Feeney's stick. Feeney trying to find Nessa, and not even in the zip code of Luke Nessa. That puck goes all the way back between the dots. Brett Siddons enters on the backhand. Siddons will shove it ahead with one hand, but not enough gas on that one to get it to a Jayhawk. Does, though, find its way to Huber along the near half wall. Huber, Roberts, back to Huber. 9 seconds to go in the power play. Huber spins around, tries to find a man. Instead, he finds a stick of a Maverick as it's Hedquist trying to clear it out. He can't. Power play expired. Out of the box is Shea. 5-on-5 now. Up and into the netting. That puck goes from Mitchell, and it'll be a face-off in Omaha's defensive zone.
Huber having a few words with the referees there, and it looks like it's Nate Mitchell, defense for Omaha. He's not quite happy with that last sequence there. .4:14 left in the period here at Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. We are Ryan Cartman and Jack Maurice. We are be right back up here tomorrow, 4:15, for game 2 of this series.
That is indeed correct, Jack. As we'll see, though, the Jayhawks can salvage out, just even a point out of this game with just under 4 minutes to go in the third period. That puck saved in front of the net of Vail. I don't know if he wanted to let that one go, but Camden Voorhees wasn't going to let him hold on to that one as he tipped that one loose. This puck sent down the length of the ice. And icing against Omaha as the Jayhawks right now searching for answers offensively. They haven't had a goal since midway through the second period.
You got to wonder if you start looking over towards the bench if Coach McConnell or Coach Pruitt are going to motion for Ben Olsen to come towards the bench and try and get an extra man on the ice here.
I think we'll start looking around 3-minute mark, maybe the 2:45 mark, and see from there. But first, the Jayhawks have to keep it out of their defensive zone. Right now, it's in their defensive zone. It's Blake Glazer pinned up against the boards. This puck is loose behind the net, fought for by the Jayhawks in white and the Mavericks in black. All white for the white tops, for the Jayhawks, red bottoms for the Hawks, and it's all black top and bottom for Omaha. Malcolm Johnson behind his blue line. Johnson headman off the skate of Callaghan. Picking up that, though, is Huber. Jayhawk center at the dot is Callaghan. Shot on, save by Vayon. He sprawls out to cover up that puck with just over 3 minutes to go in the third period.
Vayon has had a heck of a game tonight. He has stood, the Frenchman has stood tall, still kills me. Vayon is from, where was he from? Toulouse, France.
Toulouse, I don't know how they say that in France. La Francois.
He has stood on his head tonight and just played out of his mind.
Near half wall now. Picked up by Vaughn for a second, but squirts its way down to Johnson. Johnson along the boards to Huber. 2:50 now to go into third. Backhanded up to Callaghan. Lost control, though. Gets it right back for a second at least. Him and Despirito fighting for it. Ref gets tangled up there with Epperson for a second, so Epperson's not able to clear. Jayhawks still in their offensive zone. Puck play with the high stick, and it's going to be whistled for either the high stick or an offsides. I don't know exactly. I think it's going to be whistled for a high stick.
Shots are 30-37 favoring Omaha, and you can clearly tell they have been on a mission this period. They have just been shelling Ben Olsen this period, and Kansas hasn't really done much to make up for it here. They've been trying to get some shots back onto Vayon here, but nothing is getting past him.
Face off to the left of the net of Vayon. Shot by Callaghan goes up and way above the crossbar. Mavericks send this one down the length of the ice, and this will be an icing, late icing called against Omaha. Very dicey call there, Jack. I don't know about that one.
Oh, no, that was clear icing. Malcolm did a great job. I mean, the guy had him beat, but Malcolm, just great stick work by him. Just getting one good touch on the puck. That's all it took for it to be icing here.
Well, you don't got to touch the puck. You just got to get to the red dot. But
he was close. He was close.
He might, but that was a very late whistle, though, by our official.
It's been a rough day for these officials. I think that they're just about done. Not more
Nick
rough
Carahill.
It's a long day.
Nick Carahill looking for answers. It has been a long day for everybody here in the rink. Puck drop was about 2 hours, 20 minutes ago or so. Feels like an NHL length game right now. We don't even have commercial breaks. Near boards, Farnsworth up along. Tried to headman it up to a teammate. Off the stick, though, so icing will be waved off here. Just over 2 minutes to go in this third period. As now, once the Jayhawks get this in their offensive zone, you think Andy McConnell is going to have to be calling down to Ben Olson to get that extra man advantage.
It's been a bit hard, though. I mean, like even when they've been in the offensive zone, Omaha's just been smothering them.
Shot, point, Forey's deflected in front of the net of Olson and goes wide into the near corner. Brett Siddons can't get it out. Mavericks really physical right now. Finally, Jayhawks with possession. It's going to be a penalty here called against Omaha, a slashing against the Mavericks. This could give the Jayhawks a nice, and excuse me, never mind actually, beg your pardon. It is against KU, a killer slashing minor against the Jayhawks. This one, think that is against Ignatchev. If they put that 25 up on the board, I'm pretty sure it's against Danny. It is against Daniel Ignatchev, and boy, that's a killer for KU.
Absolutely. It looks like, yeah, Travis Breyer just caught up high. I think he was expecting for Kansas to go on the power play here, but looks like, yeah, just caught up near the chin teeth there.
5-on-4 are the Mavericks right now, and you think that will probably all but ice things up here. Omaha losing control, so they have to retreat. You think Ben Olson maybe will try to come out of his net at some point, but the Jayhawks got to get control of it first. Skating up the left wing side is Mitchell, or Dirk Schneider, excuse me. Circling back around is Johnson. Johnson to Nessa, back to Johnson. Johnson below the line. Sends this one down length of the ice. And looks like the Jayhawks are all but content to just play it shorthanded, maybe be a little aggressive here. Bullard tipped in front by Lang and up in the netting. And you would imagine now, with this being a face-off in the defensive zone of Omaha, maybe you pull Ben Olson here.
You got to just get one last good offensive shot here. It looks like Coach McConnell and Coach Pruitt aren't too keyed on taking Ben out, and they're just going to let this one ride out.
Looks like that might be the case. Jack has Ben Olson sitting, put in his net. One arm up on top of the crossbar here. Face off to the left. On one by Omaha. Farnsworth now off the draw. Trying to skate into the KU zone. He does. Leaves it now. Centering pass by the Mavericks. Goes wide of his stick as the Jayhawks clear into neutral ice. Hedquist. Now along the far boards, that is Mitchell. Mitchell will circle around and try to find Farnsworth in the far corner. Big hit that are put on by Johnson. Backhand now, 20 seconds to go. Up top, Mitchell at the point. Mitchell shot. Glove save there by Olson. 17.4 seconds to go in this one.
He makes it look easy. Ryan, as we're kind of near the end of this game here, what are you looking for in the Jayhawks tomorrow night?
Just from the set the tempo. Set the tempo early on. Gave up 2 goals in the first. Feel like they could have played their game, set their tempo up a little more. Of course, they did get that 1 goal to bring it to a 1 goal. To bring it to a 1 goal deficit in the period. But just to come out of the gates even stronger, maybe try to exploit some mistakes from Omaha. High slot, saved by Olson. Shot came from Barrett Bradley, the sophomore out of Northfield, Minnesota, trying to find his 3rd goal of the season. 5.3 seconds to go in this affair.
Both teams here just ready to wind down. It's about 10:40 here at Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. I think everybody's a bit tuckered out. It's been a very emotional, very high-intensity game here. I think everybody's just about pooped.
Face-off to right of Olson. One by Omaha. One last shot on goal. Doesn't go through. One other shot doesn't go through. Saved by Olson. And that'll do it for this one. Omaha takes the opener on a Friday as they improve their record to a mighty 12-1-1 on the season, winning their first Matcha Silver West Conference game of the year. And boy, it was a tough game to watch if you were a KU fan.
Absolutely. I mean, it was tough because against a team like Omaha, who's been so good this season, they've had so many fantastic moments. They were playing so excellent, and it really looked like that this was going to be a highly competitive game. And it was, don't get me wrong, but I think kind of in the third period there, we saw a lot of the domination that people who just saw at the records were just kind of expecting.
Yeah, KU was able to hang in there against a very talented opponent, probably one of their best opponents of the year that they faced to date. And they hung in there for the first couple periods, and it kind of just fell away in that third period, Jack. Scoring chances very limited for KU.
Absolutely, Ryan. And it was definitely an emotional first period or so there. You got to hope that, you got to hope that Chase Mann gets well soon and hope that he'll be all right. But otherwise, Ryan, we're back at it again tomorrow.
We will be back at it again tomorrow, Jack. It'll be 4:15 p.m. puck drop between these two teams. What are you looking for from KU to improve heading into this next game? What are you looking to for Omaha to keep working on, to keep improving? Or I should say, they don't really need to improve. If anything, they played really well tonight.
Oh, they were absolutely – they did a lot of things right. I mean, their tempo starting off was phenomenal. They were playing like they were supposed to. It really was a very even game. But I think both teams need to make sure that they don't let it get too out of hand here.
Well, with that one, Jack, it is a 4-2 Omaha win, their first Matcha Silver West win of the season. 39 shots on goal for the Mavericks, 30 for the Jayhawks. Lots of penalty minutes in this one. Both Blake Hearn and Troy Hunsaker leaving with their own 10-minute game misconducts. Goals for Omaha coming courtesy of Carson Fitch on the power play. James Shea had a goal of his own. Braden Kraut had a goal of his own. And Blake Glazer takes the team lead for goals on the year with a shorthanded goal for the Jayhawks. Rowan Vaughn added to his team lead, getting into the 20th goal of the season. Now looking to find eventually maybe get into the 30s, as well as other goal for the Jayhawks coming from Danny Callaghan, his 4th goal of the season. Well, that about wraps it up for us here at Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Alongside Jack and Maurice, I am Ryan Cartman. We'll be bringing you Game 2 of this 2-game series tomorrow afternoon at 4:15 p.m. Me and Daniel Schmidt will be on the call for that long. So until then, folks, so long for now as Jayhawks drop the opener 4-2 against the Mavericks.